A very good morning and welcome to the Farmers Cricket Ground here in Jersey in the Channel Islands on the Macdonald Premier T20 Finals Day. Couple of matches for you today and we will find out who is going to be crowned the champion. Gorgeous weather here in Jersey, all set for a wonderful day of cricket. Alongside us is Lee Malloy, the head of cricket operations for Jersey Cricket. And Lee, couldn't have asked for better weather for starters.
No, not at all. This is fantastic. As we know, Farmers Field's a beautiful place to come and play cricket. For three teams to be in with a shout of winning the title on the last day in the sun out, we're delighted with what we've seen so far. For
those watching from away from Jersey, tell us about the context of this and how we've got to this stage. We've got the first game coming up, OVs against St. Springfield in a semi-final. How have we got to this stage? Yeah. So all of these teams have now played the rounds of games where they play each other twice in a league format. The league format basically works with the top three teams getting through to finals day. Obviously, the top team gets straight through to the final, so there was something to play for across those league games. And then the next two, second and third place, play off in the semi-final or eliminator, if you will, this morning. So everything on this game this morning, a place into the final, and then ultimately this afternoon they're playing for not just the trophy but entry into the European Cricket League, which we've seen Farmers do a couple of times and OVs successfully last year. So lots on the line and should be some really great cricket. We're going to get to the toss in just a moment. First of all, the teams are in, both these sides trying to get through to that final to play Farmers this afternoon. If we look at St. first of all, looking at their lineup, a couple of players you might want to pick out that have got experience on the international stage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a top five with four international cricketers in Dom Blompe, Patrick Googe, Harrison Carlyon and Ollie Nightingale. So lots of experience in that top order, which will count for a lot. Particularly on a day like today when there's a bit of extra pressure with it. So for those with that experience, that should show.
Looking at the OVs lineup as well then, again some experience in there and looks to be particularly strong at the top of the order. Yeah,
absolutely. Captain James Duckett's vital for them, both with the ball and with the bat. The reigning cricketer of the year. He's played some games for Jersey a few years ago, but he's a big player for them, and obviously Charlie Brennan at the top in T20 cricket in particular can be very dangerous on his day. Current Jersey men's international player, still young but lots of experience, and a left-hander at the top of the order is always useful for a T20 side. So mix that with some older heads in Elliot Corbell and Luke Galashon, and OVs have got a great lineup too.
Well, we're just a few minutes away from the game getting underway. A little earlier on, Phil Bouchard was out in the middle for the coin toss.
Fails 5 minutes till the game starts. James, come on over. You won the toss. What was your decision there?
We're going to have a ball first today.
And you're thinking behind that?
Wicket's a little bit damp, potentially overnight dew. I think if there's anything in the surface it may do it this morning.
Best of luck in the game.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And Harrison, you called the toss. It didn't go in your favour. Happy though to...
Yeah, I think we're happy either way. We probably would have looked to have a bowl as well, but I'm not that fussed. Up here it's flat all day, quick outfield, lovely day, so we'll look to pile the runs on, put the pressure on them to chase.
Lots to play for today, best of luck.
Yeah, great, can't wait. Thank you very much.
So that's what happened at the toss. The match action just a few minutes away. Live coverage of that semi-final coming up ahead of the final this afternoon at 3 o'clock, which we'll also bring you live on the stream. You can hear the bell in the background, means we're not too far away from the action. Phil Bouchard has hot-footed it from the coin toss to be alongside me. Phil, tell us a bit about the relationship that you've got at 3CI Sport and that relationship with Jersey Cricket and how excited you are to be here streaming today as well.
Very much so. Very happy to be here, Tim. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. 3CI Sport is a company, part of the 3C International brand, and we're very happy to have been involved in the cricket scene internationally and locally and around Europe for a long time. It's great to be here in our back garden, as it were, here in Jersey at Farmers Cricket Club, and what a fantastic venue and what a fantastic day of cricket we've got in front of us.
Tell us a little bit, just before we start then, about your setup here today. We've got cameras around the ground and we'll be able to get some reaction from the players throughout as well.
Hopefully so, yes. We're keeping it quite simple in real terms. Multiple cameras around the ground to capture the action as the day unfolds. And of course, you'll have some guests throughout the day
Yep.
too, so we'll see them and hear from them. We've got some live graphics coming in, courtesy of our friends at Crick Clubs. And of course, you know, our director sitting behind the tools in the back room there, making sure all the action gets covered from all the different angles that we've got. So yeah, we're excited for a multi-camera shoot here today.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you, Phil. I hope it all goes well behind the scenes. I'm sure it's going to go well out on the pitch as well. Phil Bouchard from 3CI Sport, who have teamed up with Jersey Cricket to bring you live coverage of this semi-final. It's the old Victorians, the OVs, if you like, up against St. Springfield in this semi-final. And let's just remind you of how the toss went. Old Victorians then winning the toss and electing to field first. And I was out on the pitch a little early on. A little bit of greenery out there, Phil. Just I know you were out there early on. Did it seem like an easy decision for them to make?
I think both teams would have preferred to have been in the field this morning, yes.
There's a tiny bit of cloud around. If there's going to be any cloud today, it's probably right now. I think it's going to be blue sky for most of the day.
Of course, it depends if you trust Jimmy's weather forecast or the Met Office. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, he knows the ground pretty well, and yeah, he's prepared it extremely well too. It's looking fantastic. Teams are just entering the field. Actually, I'm just looking across there. And hopefully we'll be getting some shots of them entering the field shortly as they huddle up and the opening batters are ready.
Yeah, let's just remind you of these lineups then here at the Farmers Field. We'll start off with St. Patrick Googe, Adam Hayward, Harrison Carlyon, their captain, leading the side out onto the field. Don Blompe, Ollie Nightingale from Guernsey, Robbie Forrest, Ben Heelis, Sam Patadar, Kush Patak, Elliot Miles and Barney Aston. So that is the St. side. They've been put in to bat, and I can see making their way out to open the innings is Googe and Hayward, going to be the opening pair.
Tim, I'm going to leave you to your business of the day, and we're going to welcome back Lee Malloy again to sit alongside you for the first 10 overs. So good luck everybody and enjoy the game.
Yeah, just the old Victorians in the team huddle at the moment, having won the toss and elected to field. The OVs line up for you then: Captain James Duckett, Bo Gurner, Jack Stevens, Charlie Brennan, Elliot Corbell, Ed Giles, Rob Duckett, teenager Theo Pullman, Scott Simpson, Luke Galashon, the keeper John Hewitt, and 12th man of Freddie Harden. So out in the middle are the two umpires, John Gregory and Sutan Selvachildran. And they are awaiting the arrival of the sides. OV's winning that toss and electing to field first. Lee Malloy alongside me. Lee, predictable decision, the decision you would have made? I don't know if you got a chance to look out at the pitch. Looked like maybe a bit of greenery out there, but and the only cloud we might get today up there at the moment.
Yeah, I think given the time of the start, that's probably had an effect on the decision to bowl first. There's a little bit of green in the wicket, but I mean, it really doesn't count for much up here at Farmers. It's a batting paradise often up here. Jim does a huge amount of work to prepare these wickets. So it's not a bad toss to lose, but I think everybody would have agreed bowling first, seeing if there's something in the pitch early doors here at 10:30 in the morning, if there's going to be any nip for the seamers. It's going to be at this time of day. And on the first use, so I think the pitch isn't going to have too much of an impact throughout the day. I think it's just going to stay good, and it'll be a batting paradise come this afternoon.
It looks like Scott Simpson going to open the bowling from the end nearest our commentary position, I suppose the pavilion end here at Farmers. Tell us a bit about Scott.
Yeah, so Scott's had an interesting year so far. He's been around the local cricket scene for a long time, but just starting to see some international honours since the new coach has come in, Paul Hutchison. He's been looking for a point of difference, certainly for our men's side. So he's been coming in and looking at players and giving them opportunities, and Scott's been one of them as a left-arm seamer. We didn't have one in the ranks in the men's side, so those of you who tuned in last weekend saw a good performance in the third game, picking up 2 wickets in an over. So let's see how he gets on this morning.
Here we go then, semi-final, first ball of the day. Simpson coming in over the wicket. Just let through to the keeper there by Googe, taking strike for St. Springfield. Just happy to let that one go by. Looked like a bit of bounce in the wicket there.
Yeah, it's certainly going to play true. There'll be a little bit in it for the seamers early on, but the batters will be able to trust this wicket. They'll be able to trust the ball, so we should see some good shots in the power play.
Again, just a bit of width being offered up and good carry through to the wicketkeeper, John Hewitt, as well.
Good buzz in the field here early from OVs. They're nice and loud, as you'd expect. First few balls of the day, maybe a few nerves around just to get them out and about.
First bat on ball of the day, all the way for 4 to square leg, and again some decent bounce, some decent pace, and this time first bat on ball of this semi-final contest and all the way to the boundary.
Yeah, fantastic shot opening the innings there. Opening batsers will be looking for anything loose. Probably too short. Scott will be a bit annoyed at missing his length there. He's looking to go top of the stumps, but dropped it a bit short.
Yeah, back-to-back boundaries there for Googe. Almost a cross-batted shot, wasn't it? And found its way all the way for back-to-back 4s. And after 2 dot balls to start the innings, just 2 sighters through to the keeper. The next 2 all the way to the rope.
Yeah, I think that one found his length a bit better. It's just good batting. I think that's a good sign for this wicket. For the batters sitting on the sideline, they'll be licking their lips at the sight of that being hit through the line on the up. So a good start here from Googie.
And that one's coming our way. Might just plug. We'll see if it manages to get all the way. Corbell giving chase and does really well down on the boundary to stop a 3rd consecutive 4.
Yeah, fantastic bit of fielding. Good chase down from Elliot Corbell at mid-on there, who's usually behind the sticks with the gloves on. He'd be a bit unsure about how he's going here in the field. He's been an excellent keeper for a number of years, all the way through the junior system. So, yeah, certainly a useful pair of hands in the field.
Just a slight change in the field as well. Corbell just being put back to the rope and slightly wider. Simpson prepares to come in again. Certainly heard a noise, the umpire agrees. And there's the first wicket. So after a couple of boundaries in this first over, the first wicket goes down, and looked to be a decent chunk of the bat taken there. We could hear the nick from our commentary position 60 odd yards away through to the keeper, and a wicket in the first over.
Yeah, I think that's the way Adam was always going to go in and play there. I think the tactics there was to put a pinch hitter at the top of the order and see if he could get a few away early in the power play and get away with some boundaries. But high risk batting is always going to be. Those things can happen. So nice length from Scott, nipping it away from the right hander. Clear edge through, and the experiment at the top of the order for Adam hasn't worked this time, but walking to the middle now is Harrison, Carline the captain, so these 2 in the middle, this is a big partnership, and OVs will want to break this partnership quickly.
Yeah, 11 for 1, and Hayward going to his first delivery, and relatively straightforward catch for the wicketkeeper. So first over done, 11 for 1. Guess it would take us a few overs, Lee, to work out what a decent score might be. Traditionally decent for batting here at Farmers.
Yeah, I think anything from around 160 up, the batting side will be happy with. In club cricket in particular, the depth of batting right down the order might not be there. So I think a lot goes on this first power play, wickets or runs. If a team can get away to a big start and get a good start with the bat, then that goes a long way to helping the lower order and taking the pressure off them, and vice versa with OVs in the field here. They'll want wickets.
First bit of spin of the day, and Googe plays that out into the offside. Return throw slightly wild.
Yeah, I think there's a few nerves, maybe if a bit of a bigger throw than normal, letting that go early doors. So James Duckett starting well here for OVs.
Another big appeal for a catch behind. OVs seem absolutely convinced that there was something in there. Felt like maybe I heard something, but the umpire unmoved.
Yeah, not given there. OVs looked like they were absolutely convinced by that. Very strong appeal from everybody, knowing that Guji's a big wicket, but not given. They've got to get their heads back on it here and keep focused on the task at hand, because clearly some early wickets here will put them in the driving seat.
Yeah, more of a solid shot from Guj there, out into the leg side. Picks up a single, and Harrison Carlyon on to strike for his first ball of this semi-final. Reminder, the winner of this will play Farmers in this afternoon's final, 3 o'clock. We'll have live stream of that from 3 for you. And Harrison now, you know, I still think of him as a really young lad, but he is still young, but leading this side as well. It's a big moment for him on finals day. We'll come to that in a moment. Not able to connect with his first ball face, but yeah, big day for someone like Harrison.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been playing cricket a long time now. He's had opportunities with the men's side for a long time, so he's very, very experienced for a relatively young cricketer in age. But this year at SOS, he's taken on a bit more of a seniority role with the captaincy. Looks like he's enjoying that. Every time I've spoken to him, he's talking about St. One Springfield, so he's focused on that, and he'll be wanting to put on a big total today.
Just one bounce all the way out to the fielder there in the deep, and just the single, and Carlyon off the mark, off the final ball of that second over. He keeps the strike, and just a couple of runs from that over. So it'll be pretty chuffed to in the early stages of this in the power play to keep them down to just 2 off that over.
Yeah, really tight over from the skipper there. I think his job is to come on in the power play and try and make sure that he bowls a tight line, as you could see earlier. Bat's trying to get him away through the offside, which isn't always easy. And a little ploy from Paddy to get more into the ball and get into the leg side for where there's the gaps. So yeah, a tight over. I think it's 50-50 at the moment. They'd like a couple more wickets, but yeah, you never know.
Simpson it is to continue with his left arm pace. Full toss, and to the boundary it goes. Not the shot Harrison would have wanted there, but after the previous over only going for 2, finds the boundary.
Yeah, loose ball, full and wide outside off stump. I think that's the risk you take here at Farmers bowling seam down the hill. Obviously, the minute it takes any edge or any bit of bat, it's going to fly away with a really lightning quick outfield and down the hill here. So, yeah, pressure on the bowler early doors on the first ball of the second over.
Yeah, not afraid in these early stages to let the ball go through to the keeper when it's outside off stump. Perhaps a bit weary outside the off stump. We've seen an edge through to the keeper already. We've seen a big appeal for a caught behind as well. Yeah, so happy to let the odd one go.
Yeah, I think that's what the left armour brings you in the power play, and particularly the seam, is taking it away from the right-handed batters is a bit more of a threat.
Cross-batted shot down to mid-off. No run there. Yeah. 17 for 1 the score.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're talking about, as a bit of point of difference for him. You know, as a left-arm seamer bringing it across 2 right-handers, it might be slightly different if we saw a left-handed batter at the top of the order, but this is a nice match-up for OVs.
Might be a wide, I would think. Yeah, the umpire John Gregory.
First commentator's curse of the day there.
John Gregory agrees with me out there in the middle. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if Scott can find his line here, he can settle into a length. I think he can be dangerous. But here at Farmers, as we said, the pitch is good and 2 experienced cricketers at the crease. Yeah,
just a couple of fielders on the leg side, so happy to, in the main, put it outside off some. That one a bit straighter, and the umpire again unmoved. But yeah, it seems like he's happy to offer it up outside off stump in the main.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that angle from over the wicket as a left-arm seamer to the right-hander that what coaches are looking for to try and... I mean, the batters struggled a bit to line it up, certainly early on in the power play. These overs can be so crucial, and most of T20 cricket these days, you talk about match-ups with left and right-handers, and the way spinners bowl. You see the likes of Liam Livingstone, who can bowl both ways depending on what batter he's facing. So yeah, that seems to be a big thing these days, and it's trickling down to club cricket as well.
Another full toss. Googe flicks that one away, or more than flicks it away. It's gone all the way to the rope. And a misfield on the boundary brings up another boundary for St One Springfield.
I mean, that's a good sign for the batting side. That ball flew away down there, and boundary fielders always think they've got a bit more time than they have, but here at Farmers it's on them before they know it. So you've got to do the hard yards early.
Yeah, youngster Theo Pullman out there on the boundary. Nice bit of fielding from Stevens, keeps it to just the single at the end of the over, and this time it's Googe who will keep the strike. 24 for 1 and 3 overs bowled. Just look to see if they're going to make a change at the far end here, or
might be looking at Ed Giles there, but I think James is going to take another one. Tight first over, he's deserved himself a second. He'll feel he should have had a wicket already, but not given, so this is a big over. I think you can see the runs coming from the other end, about bowling in partnership, so James pressures on here for him to hold his line and keep it tight whilst Googie and Harrison are batting.
Yeah, the captain continues then from the far end. Yeah, lovely shot from Googe. Latched onto that one really early, just dropping a bit short perhaps there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the difference between a yard of length. I think the one earlier that beat the bat and that they went up for the appeal was the length he'd be looking for. This just a yard shorter, a lot easier for the batter to rock back and smash through the offside in the power play where you can only have 2 men out. Very difficult for the captain to be able to control the run flow. So, yeah, anything loose and short, these 2 batters will certainly be looking to put it away.
Captain here just looking to find his length early doors. Nice line of length, but turned into the leg side again. Just a single.
It's nice batting. That'll be what they're looking to do to rotate the strike, get both batters on strike. So he gets his 4 and then gets off strike at the other end. So that's good power play batting, and that's the experience showing there.
Yeah, lovely shot. Loads of space out there on the offside. Through it goes.
That is a very good sign. if the batters are standing and hitting through the line as confidently as that, it's going to be a long day for the bowlers and the fielders up here. So, yeah, very little room for error here. You're going to be on the stumps. You've got to hit your areas. You've got to hit your line of lengths and be disciplined all day long. Otherwise, you're going to get punished.
And the batsmen, I know we said they've left a couple, but willing to play their shots early on here. It was the downfall of the opening batsman in the first over. Downfall of Hayward in the first over, but willing to be aggressive early on here in this power play.
Yeah, you've got to make the most of it. It's such a vital part of the batting innings.
Yeah, happy to turn that away for another single and keep things ticking over. Fielded on the boundary. And another run onto the total.
Yeah, this is the over that they wanted off the back of James's tight first over. They've a couple of boundaries and rotating the strike nicely.
Yeah, turning over the strike really well now. No, we see there was a dot ball not too long ago, but there not been loads of them. Keeping the strike rotating.
Yep, absolutely. I think in the power play, vital to score off every ball you can. You get a small opportunity to have 2 men out, and as you can see in that over there, the field he set was a couple of men out leg side, so if you miss outside off stump and off of that width, you're going to get punished. So the finish of that over there just brought his line a touch tighter to the stumps, which meant the batters were only getting a couple of singles rather than those early boundaries. So it's about being disciplined. It's about bowlers hitting the areas that they need to do and bowl to their field, and I'm sure we'll see once those first 6 overs are done, it's a very different game with 5 fielders out for them. So chat in the middle here between the senior players about who's going to bowl what and how they're going to try and peg back this start from SOS. I think the main discussion there will be how could we take wickets. Wickets is so key in the power play. There's a lot of stats out there about taking 3 wickets and winning games of cricket in the power play. So a couple more wickets for Ed Giles coming on here, and this game can turn on its head.
Yeah, so that is the choice of the skipper, Giles, to take over from this end nearest to the commentary position here at the Farmers Ground. Straight back at him. Oh, and there was the opportunity, nearly a wicket with his first ball. Just couldn't hold on. It did go to him really quickly.
Yeah, those are never easy, especially when you're coming from 6-6, 6-7. Yeah, probably wasn't expecting that first one to come straight back at him, but opportunity, another one presented, so not quite taken, but he'll be looking to come back here.
Run out opportunity, it's a direct hit and it's out. It's a brilliant piece of fielding. Nearly took the wicket the ball before. And then the very next ball, a quick single attempted and a direct hit. And it's a second wicket down for St One Springfield.
Fantastic bit of fielding, mid-off to attack the ball. You've got to be alive there early in the power play. Mid-on and mid-off, the ball gets hit to you and they run a lot. And that was a big change. I'm not sure whether that was needed in the power play for the batters, the way that they're going there. It was a nice batting deck and just getting stuck into the 6 overs. I don't think that risk was needed as such, but if he misses and he gets through for a single, everybody's applauding. But after that, it's a big turn in the game.
We'll have a look on the replay in a moment at just how close it was. It was always going to be tight as soon as they set off. It looked like there was potential danger. Here we are. I mean, they did set off straight away, to be fair, but it was straight to the fielder. And the dive didn't look far off. Just wonder if he didn't ground his bat
It looked very
properly.
tight
It was really tight.
Yeah.
But the umpire, no hesitation, finger straight up, and that was the end of him.
The general thing we talk about as coaches is if it's going to be tight, make sure you get a dive in. It might make it a bit more difficult for the umpire to be confident about his decision, but John looked extremely sure of it there, and it certainly looked close either way. It's a risk that maybe wasn't needing to be taken.
Play and miss. Don Blompey looks to be the new batsman out there, in at number 4.
This is a big partnership now. We talked about how OVs want to get wickets and take away the SOS partnerships. This is obviously a huge one with 2 international cricketers at the crease.
Nicely played, and this tight first over from Giles continues. No runs in it so far.
Yeah, this is power play cricket at its finest. A wicket can change everything, and the momentum the swing here is huge. So if he can finish this over and keep it tight, it's OV's right back in this game.
Just straying a bit onto leg stump there and turned away for just the single. Outfield seems to be running pretty fast.
Yeah, this is one of the keys to playing cricket up here, is that not only is bowling first good for you, but it's difficult to defend totals here with an outfield like this. It makes it very difficult, and it always feels like you're one man short in the field. Yeah. So that's certainly an advantage to being able to bat second.
This tight over continues. In fact, that is the over, and just the 1 run and the run out from it. And the fielding side will be delighted with that. Just as you were saying, as Giles came on, wickets, but at the same time has managed to stem a flow of runs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That huge over in the context of the game. As I say, these power play overs are so vital to the rest of the game. Getting a couple of wickets early, especially a batter who was going as well as Guji was there. James Duckett's going to continue here and bowl through the power play. They'll hope for another tight over here and get out of this and spread the field and start putting the pressure on the batters to score a bit quicker.
.36 for 2 then. 5 overs in of this semi-final. Reminder, the winner takes on Farmers Caesareans in the final this afternoon, which will also bring you live on the stream. Here comes Duckett then. Yeah, brave shot, because it looked to be on the stumps, came across and away to the boundary.
Yeah, it's high risk batting, but it's power play batting. If it goes for 4, you look great. If you miss it and it pins you in front of middle, and you're walking back to the pavilion. So that's the beauty of T20 cricket. It can change in an instant.
Just why the ball's being returned from the boundary. Just tell us a bit about your role, Lee, because you switched roles still relatively recently, I suppose, away from coaching the women's side here in Jersey to a more operational role. We'll get to that in a moment after this delivery. Oh, that's a stinger.
That's a stinger. Yeah. No, so I've been in the role since January now, and really enjoying it. Focused on really all of cricket. So meeting the new coaches have been fantastic, and getting stuck into this role where the focus has certainly been more on club cricket. It's been really enjoyable so far.
And that club cricket you mentioned there, how strong is the local domestic game at the moment? I mean, days like this, we're hoping for a big crowd in for the final later on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think this is the showpiece event of the season. We've got the CI League final later in the year. That's obviously a big date for everybody in the calendar, but with the Guernsey teams involved, you can't always guarantee a home fixture. So this is a great day out for everybody involved, local cricketers, families, whoever wants to come up and watch. It's a fantastic showpiece event, and we're delighted to have been in partnership with 3CI Sport, who have come in for the live stream of this, and we're delighted that we'll be able to get this out to people all around the world. I think when you throw in the extra element of qualification for the European Cricket League, there's a good bit of context around these games. So being able to make sure everybody can tune in and see it this morning for those who can't get to the ground is important.
Just down the leg side, I wondered if there was a little bit of pad on there, but I think it's going to be a wide ball signalled by the umpire. Yep. Just wondered if it took a little nick as it came through.
Yeah, didn't look like it to me, so that's a nice way to rotate the strike. First extra of the morning, so James just trying to hold his line on leg side here, just leaks it down leg side.
Turn down to long on, and again just the single onto the score, 44 for 2, and that's the end of the 6th over.
Yeah, power play done, 44 for 2. I think that's very much 50-50. I'm not sure which camp I'd rather be in there. A couple of wickets for OVs, we'll see them think it's their power play, but 40 runs on the board earlier here at Farmers is what you'd want. I'd have said they'd probably have, whilst Paddy was going, liked a few more than that, maybe 50 plus. 10 and over here is achievable if you run between the wickets well and pick up your boundaries along the way. So now the field can spread. They can have 5 fielders outside that inner circle now. It's a slightly different game, and we'll see how the batters maybe change their tact, or looking if they keep going to be aggressive at the top of the order.
Yeah, well, Giles' first over was excellent, wasn't it? Really keeping the runs down. I know it was a run out in there as well, but brought the wicket that they were looking for as well.
Yep, it's a big swing of the power play there, and I think that really just saw OVs punch themselves back into this game a little bit here, and I think every over against these teams is going to be vital.
See if Giles can back up his first over.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, gorgeous shot. Got his hands through the ball, all along the ground, all the way to the boundary, and Carline continues.
Just over pitch there from Gilo. He's started well, hit his lengths, but just a bit over pitch meant Harrison could put his hands right the way through the ball there, and the minute it beats the infield here, if there's no boundary fielder on that side, it's going to be guaranteed 4 runs.
You mentioned Harrison's young age earlier on, but you've got 2 batsmen out there with international experience at the moment in Don Blompe and Harrison Carline, and they're just after a couple of quiet overs, we'll look to get going again here.
Yeah, I think the main thing here is dealing with the pressure. For these guys who haven't necessarily maybe played on a live stream before, or most of the time spent their cricket playing club cricket, they don't necessarily always feel that pressure with the context on the day. So for the guys who have played international cricket in front of a crowd on live TV, this just feels like another day for them, and they can use that experience to call back on.
Quick change in the field by the looks of things. Just down at fine leg, maybe being put a bit wider, and Elliot Corbell being called in from the boundary into the circle. Does go out to the leg side. Should just be a single. And brings up the 50 for St One Springfield inside the 7th over.
I think that's a sign there of these captains having played a lot against each other. I think obviously the one thing that's interesting here is that you don't need to do much opposition analysis when you play each other week in, week out. So
yeah.
They've got a good idea of each batsman's strengths and weaknesses. They've got an idea of how they'll go. So that'll be an interesting part to the contest.
Good carry again through. We were talking about that right at the start of the game, that carry that was coming from this end. Did look like there was a tinge of green when I was out in the middle, and I think most people around the ground wouldn't have been surprised at the decision to bowl first and then to get the 2 early wickets as well. Come back to that in a moment.
One.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm not sure who will be the happier of the sides. I mean, Old Victorians winning the toss, choosing to field first. They got those 2 early wickets, but I mean, they've stemmed the tide perhaps a bit the last couple of overs.
Yeah, I think this has been a fantastic start. I think if Gilo can get himself out this over with his last ball here and keep it down to without a boundary, I think he'd be delighted with his first 2.
Half a thought of a single, but there's no run, and that does end the 7th over, 51 for 2. Just take a look at the bowling here.
As you can see, the power play overs there are always difficult for bowlers to bowl in. The economy tends to be a little bit bigger than those who bowl outside of the power play. So I think a couple of loose overs from Scott there. He picked up the wicket, which was a big bonus for them. But certainly that run out in the power play feels like a big moment that stemmed the tide of SOS runs. So they'll be looking to carry on building this partnership outside of the power play. These two in particular, Don Blompe's game. This is very suited to him. Outside the power play, he's quick between the wickets. He looks for his 2s, puts away the bad ball. Harrison will keep playing aggressive and running as hard as he can. So these two are certainly not unfamiliar to these conditions, and I think it's a good position for them to be in to push on and move forward with a change of bowling coming from the far end.
Just a small amount of cloud in the sky here, but gorgeous day in Jersey, here in the Channel Islands. And great to have you watching the live stream wherever you are around the world watching this. You're very welcome to the Farmers Cricket Ground here in Jersey for this semi-final T20 finals day. Good fielding off his own bowling there, first up.
Yeah, brother of James, Rob, from what looks like the ducket end these days. So he's on, and he bowls medium pace with the keeper stood up. He's got a lot of experience. He'll mix up his pace and make it difficult for these batters to score in the middle overs with the fielders spread. So yeah, I think it's an interesting spell that he'll come on for here, and he'll usually either go for a few runs and pick up a few wickets along the way. So yeah, we could see a bit of everything.
Yeah, I quite like that, the ducket end. I wasn't quite sure what to call that end. Car park end, is it?
I'm not sure Jimmy Pershard would be too happy with me naming it after a couple of OVs, but yeah, so far anyway. That's what we'll see a lot of, wicket to wicket, hitting middle stump as often as possible, trying to make the batters think a little bit differently from just playing with a straight bat the whole time. It's a bit of cat and mouse game here on flat wickets. Can you continue to hold your line, and can you keep away from the loose balls?
Kind of half a pill, they get through for the single. Just waiting to see if no leg by signalled, so must have been some bat involved there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about there with Dom in the middle overs. He's a creative batter. He hits the ball 360. He knows his options and he's strong with them. So expect to see a fair bit of that if he carries on batting through this innings.
Slightly in the air, but no filter there, and straightforward single. Lovely looking shot. Good fielding as well. Diving down to his right there, Simpson.
Yeah, it's gonna, as we can see earlier with James Duckett's run out, when it's a day like today and it's a batting paradise, fielding can make a massive difference. Both these sides filled with young cricketers, filled with lads who are going to be doing a lot of running around and putting themselves on the boundary and diving about, and that's going to be so important today. If you can save 10-15 runs in the field, that can be a match-winning effort. So yeah, this is why I think these teams are so evenly matched. They've got experienced cricketers, they've got young cricketers, and they've got a fair few athletes in the field who can do that job at saving runs on a day like today. So looks like another change here. Talking of youngsters, young Theo Pullman coming into the attack, just 17 years of age. Real big promise. He's growing by the day, so adding a bit of pace to his game, but he's got some good skills as well. He was down in La Manga with Jersey A side playing T10 cricket, and now with OV, so he's certainly got the skills for this test.
So gone all the way through there. Yeah, misfield on the boundary, so all the way to the fence, and not what you want from your first delivery. One, it's been edged, and two, it's been misfielded on the boundary.
Yeah, just as we were talking about it there, fielding it's going to make a big difference today. That's a couple that have got through the boundary fielders for OVs. Young Bo Gurner down there. He's an exceptional athlete and an exceptional fielder at Millfield School at the moment. So he'll be disappointed with that effort, but yeah, he's a fantastic young cricketer.
Nice shot straight at the fielder, and there's no run, and that will, if there's any nerves from Pullman after the first ball was edged away to the boundary, that will hopefully settle again. Got a decent amount of pace on him.
Yeah, just 17. He's been looked at for future national honours.
Again, it gets through the fielder. The chase is on down to the rope, and just about finds its way there. Charlie Brennan, it was sliding in.
Yeah.
Decent effort, but it's an awkward one as the ball runs away from you there, and you're trying to time your dive, and through to the boundary it goes, and second boundary of the over.
Yeah, beautiful shot that from Blomps. That was a full bat face straight down the ground. Two chances for the fielders to maybe get a hand to it and stop it, but not on this occasion.
Nice front foot defensive for the cameras there. Held the pose.
Yeah, don't get to do that often in club cricket these days, so I think he's making the most of an opportunity put in front of him there
On the live stream, yeah.
To get the bat sponsor on the TV as well is always nice.
In comes Pullman again. Again, that one's not off the middle, but this fast outfield. This time it is collected out on the boundary, and they get through for a couple more there to Blompi's score.
Yeah, that's classic. Down at Farmers, when it goes away down that hill towards third man, we saw it in the first ball that beat the fielder to his left hand side, that one to his right. You're always in the game at Farmers wherever you are in the field. You can't switch off.
Another full delivery, getting the batsman driving. They get through for a single, and that wraps up the ninth over. 66 for 2. And what's our net run rate here? What are we looking at? Seven and a bit.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with that. I think it's just probably below par. I'd say 8s would be where you'd want to be. Certainly now out the power play, 8s is acceptable with the boundaries maybe drying up slightly. But when you're fielding second and scoreboard pressure, I think you can look at a par score being 170 here, with a flourish towards the end. But as I say, it's a batting paradise here at Farmers, and with an outfield as quick as this, any score could be chaseable if a batter gets going today.
Yeah, not off the middle, but another couple. Duckett just offering a little bit of width there for Don Blompi to work with. He likes that space outside the off stump there where he can free his arms.
Yeah, no, he hits the ball in all areas of the field, which makes him very hard to bowl to and suitable for outside the power play.
Just thought about trying to nip through for a single there, then thought better of it.
Good bit of fielding from backward point there. It's easy in these games where the ball's coming at you thick and fast to sit deep on the square, but actually getting in tight in the ring actually helps save those singles.
Again, a little uppish, straight at the fielder, no run. If you're just joining us, this is the Brooks Macdonald Premier T20 Finals Day, the semi-final between the old Victorians and St Juan Springfield for the right to play Farmer Caesareans this afternoon. Oh, a lovely delivery and well dug out as well there by Blomps, and just putting a few dot balls together here.
Yeah, this is a bit of pressure in the middle overs here, and this is where the experience should tell. Keeping his head, keeping calm, knowing that you can catch up quickly here will be key.
Just the one there. So tidy over this from Rob Duckett so far, just the 3 coming from it. 1 delivery remaining, and if he can get out with another dot here, he'll be delighted with this over. Another edge. And through for the single, but excellent over from Duckett.
Yeah, I think last 2 overs we've seen basically a summary of the game so far. 1 go for 11 and you feel like that's St Juan's over, and then that over goes for 4 and you think that's OV's over. So these two punching at each other, trying to get ahead of the other, but every time SOS get ahead with the run rate, they pick up a wicket, OV's, and every time SOS seem to get away with a big over, the next over doesn't go for many. So I think it's on as even now at the drinks break, and I think the game's evenly poised, and wickets in hand could be vital here for St Juan's. They've got some good batters down the order, some young batters down the order, and as I say, this partnership's going to be absolutely crucial if these two can keep batting through to the 15th, 16th over and keep setting up this total, and then seeing what happens in the last 4.
It's been a bit stop-starty, hasn't it? As you say, the odds good over that goes for double figures, and then must have been 3 or 4 overs that have gone 4 or 5. You know, there's been some tight overs out there at times. As the players just come off to our right-hand side for a quick drink. It is a hot day out there. The umpires have stayed in the middle. The players all coming to the edge here, and actually just to our right we can see Harrison Carline and Don Blompey, the 2 batsmen, just getting perhaps some words of advice there.
Yeah, I think they'll be assessing conditions. I think they'll be passing messages on to the next batters coming in about the wicket and about the conditions, about what they're looking to get, what do we want for the next 5 overs, what runs per over are we happy with, what's the big total we're looking for at the end, which bowlers are we looking to target. That's a big discussion that batters will often have in the middle. You know, which bowler do I feel I can get on top of and put pressure on, and how am I going to go about doing that? And I think that's where experience comes down to it, and a bit of clarity of thought. So
yeah, and 8 wickets in the bag to use in the second 10 overs. I mean, batsmen still to come for St Juan as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got plenty of batting still to come. I think St Juan's would probably be wishing that they had Adam back in the hutch, still ready to go, because he can clear that rope when he gets going. They're probably lacking a little bit of firepower down the order, but they've got batters who will come in and score from ball 1 and run hard between the wickets. So it's not always about boundaries to win games of cricket, although it's nice. So they're setting up the game nicely. As I say, these two, the next 5 overs after this drinks break will be crucial to how this game goes.
Just a chance to take a look at the bowling figures so far.
Yeah, I think it's pretty on as even. You can see some fantastic tight overs there from Ed Giles and Rob Duckett. Some looser bowling in the power play from the guys up top, but never easy to bowl in the power play.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of pressure and a lot of experience to deal with those sorts of overs where you've almost got to have the mindset that you're accepting boundaries because it's part of the game. But if you can pick up wickets along the way, then great. So
and Simpson got that important wicket right at the top of the innings.
Absolutely, though, that wicket first ball of Adam Hayward was big for that power play, because he was one who could go from ball 1 and make a big difference, and we could have seen a lot bigger total if he'd have got going so far. But as we say, wickets are absolutely key, and if we can keep going here, then we might see a bit of runs and a bit of wickets and see what comes from it.
Players starting to make their way back out to the middle of the second half of this first innings of the semi-final. 70 for 2 then the score. Even my maths tells me going at 7 and over. Some GCSE maths for you there, Lee.
Oh, better than me, that's for sure. It's just about past mine, so I keep away.
It was a while ago now.
From those statements on live air. I won't be putting my hat in the ring for any maths today, that's for sure.
Looks like Pullman's going to continue.
Yeah, I think this is a good show of confidence from the captain for a young seamer. I think it would have been very easy for him to make the decision after 11 off his first to sort of, right, we'll give someone else a crack, but sometimes bowling's about confidence, and first over might not go for how you wanted it to, but settle into your spell and nip a wicket early here after a drinks break. That's always a thing within cricket, that it seems to be when there's a break in play, all of a sudden batters have to reset themselves and go again. So if there's ever an opportunity for a young seaman to come back on after a loose first over, a drinks break is really what they'd like.
Harrison Carline going at a runner ball then, 26 not out. He's on strike, and it will be Pullman to continue from the pavilion end here at the Farmers Cricket Ground in Jersey in the Channel Islands on this T20 finals day, this semi-final. Old Victorians, if you weren't with us earlier on, winning the toss and opting to field first. James Duckett making the call to get his side out into the fields first up.
I think it's a justified decision still. I think there's not quite sure what a good score is first dig of the day, so see if the batters want to continue to push hard here.
Right, pushed hard there, cut away down to the boundary, and another 4 runs onto Harrison Carline's tally, taking him to 30 not out.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be on a wicket like this. Too short and wide there from Theo. He'll know that he wants to hold a tighter line than that with third man and backward point up in this circle. You certainly don't want to be bowling short and wide to players of this ilk.
Slipping out of the hands, and second wide of the over, so a bit of pressure on Pullman here.
Bit of a chap at the top of his mark now, a bit of experience coming in from Luke Galashon, just trying to slow him down a bit. I think when bowlers are on the back foot, they can tend to want to rush in and bowl immediately, but a bit of experience slowing the game down might help him.
Yeah, beats the bat. Through to the keeper. Feels like a big couple of wickets here if these two can stay in. Yeah, turning over the strike well as well. If these two can stay in, Lee, for another 6 overs, they managed to run through and get 2 there. Good running between the pair as well. But yeah, if they can do another 5-6 overs, this pair, it could be a pretty daunting total to chase down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you saw there is what they can do well. They've got the experience to drop it and put it at the edge of the circle and get those 2s, which is vital to the momentum of the innings as well as anything, especially outside the power play.
Yeah, no run there.
You can see a show of frustration there from Harrison. He's had a couple of short wide ones there that he sort of wafted his bat at. He's certainly not that type of batter. He's an aggressive batter who chucks his hand hard at the ball, and he'll be getting frustrated with himself for not really trying to put those away properly. He's getting a bit caught in 2 minds, maybe trying to guide it down through third man. There's a big vacant area there between short third and the wicket keeper, but what that can then bring is a bit of tentative batting and hit the fielders.
Yeah, well fielded on the boundary.
Great bit of fielding from Ed Giles out on the boundary there. Not easy coming from that height to get down to that ball coming quick at you. Key to that was a quick release as well, stop the batters getting back for a second. So, as I say, the fielding it's been hit and miss. We've had some missed fields, and we've had some fantastic bit of fielding. The run out in the power play, the obvious one, but every run counts here. Some good OV support out on the bank up there. That's certainly a common appearance here whenever we've had hosted finals days here up at Farmers. The OVs boys who have come in to support will tend to park themselves out on the bank next to the cameraman and make lots of noise throughout the afternoon. And if OVs manage to get through this game and into the final, dare to say that they'll be very vocal later this afternoon.
$80 up then. Just seeing, is that Duckett continuing down there?
Yeah, looks like Rob to me. Yep.
Duckett to continue then.
That's what he's been doing so well. He's not giving these batters width to score off, changing his pace, not making it easy for them, and his figures show that. So he needs someone to back him up from the other end, with Theo going for a few. So if he continues to do this, it's keeping OVs in this game, and as you can see, building a bit of frustration from these batters.
Maybe over-pitching slightly there, but you're right, his line and length has been really good in these opening, 2.2 overs from Duckett, and yeah, not giving any space for the batsmen to swing their arms. No sixes in the innings yet.
Not so far. That's probably a show of how well the OVs have bowled outside the power play, and at times throughout the power play here, it's not been too many loose balls for them to tuck into. When they have, it's tended to be over pitch, which means that they'll get on top of the ball a bit more. We're not seeing too much short stuff from either Gilo, Simo or Robbie, so that'll help avoid too many big hits.
Should say, I suppose, for context that we haven't discussed yet, is the league table that got the teams to finals day in this semi-final. Victorians, the OVs, finishing second, and St One Springfield third in the table, meaning they face each other in this semi. Farmers topping the table and therefore straight through to this afternoon's final.
Yeah, I think it was first few weeks in, I think everybody would have had their money on OVs getting themselves straight through to the final off the back of a real strong showing in the winter and early wins in this league. And I think one element to it, with Farmers having a couple more players now playing cricket in the UK, they haven't been as strong as they have been in previous seasons, so everybody thought OVs were the team to beat, and then they went on a bit of a tricky period, which saw them slip up and open the door for Farmers. I think SOS were up and down. When they're good, they're really good. When they haven't been so good, the other teams have got across the line against them. So I think it's been a real tight contest, and not to forget about walkovers, who are working on building what they do. They've been comfortably fourth for a number of years now, but I think there's some real positive signs from them this year, with some big wins against opposition teams. So I think they're evenly poised moving forward, and they'd have been happy with their campaign, and obviously would have liked to have got here at finals day. But I know for a fact behind the scenes they're doing absolutely superb work with juniors in their setup. Brad Botier in particular puts a lot of time and effort into ensuring that they get youngsters into the club, and in the lower leagues that's coming to fruition with them having a lot of youngsters involved. So I think walkovers are very much watch this space at the moment, with some real talented youngsters on their ranks. I think we'll see them certainly strengthening over the next few years, picking up some strong players as well along the way. Nick Ferraby's moved there from Farmers. Joe Bevis is doing a great job as captain, leading them with some real positivity. They were enjoying having Ben Ward back last week when he was back over for the T20 qualifiers that the men have got in Germany. So they're a work in progress, but yeah, they would have been delighted with their campaign.
Giles back on. And his first ball of this spell is dispatched straight back down the ground, all along the floor for another boundary. First 2 overs from Giles, exceptional, just going for 8 across the 2 at 4 and over. But this time round, before conceded off the first ball of his third.
Yeah, just a little bit more aggressive intent there from Dom. I think the chat in the middle from him and Harrison's probably been, one of us needs to get going a bit here. It probably got a little bit stale from both ends with ones and twos. So one of them needed to sort of take the attack to the opposition bowler and maybe take a few risks.
Both going at more than a run a ball at the moment. It's another aggressive looking shot and a great one-handed stop.
And a beautiful throw over the top there. That's what we're looking for from the young cricketers in Jersey.
Yeah, Pullman just stretching out one hand and right into the mitt and then straight in over the stump. So good piece of fielding on the boundary. And the scoreboard ticks to 90 for 2 here in the 13th over. Just wonder if that's too wide for the umpire's liking. Yeah, wide ball signalled by John Gregory. Yeah, both batsmen going around about a run a ball at sort of strike rates just over 100 for the pair of them.
Yeah, I think they would like more. I think both of them would be wanting to strike above 120 here at least, especially with the wicket and the outfield here at Farmers.
Again, some good fielding. This time I think it was Simpson that got down well.
Yeah, that can be a big difference there. Both those balls get past the fielders and go to the boundary, and this over looks extremely different. So batter's got to keep calm, keep doing the right things, but OVs, every time St. Ones tend to get a couple of punches away, they punch back, so it continues.
Another edge. Just wonder if it's going to go all the way. It does. Fielder can't quite cut that one off down there, and we've seen a fair few of those edges in this innings actually. Just wonder if the ball is doing a little bit off the seam.
Yeah, Bogarner's been a busy man down there at third man, and as I say, with this outfield being so quick, a boundary fielder, you never feel that you're in the right position, whether you're 5 to your left or 5 to your right. Every time it's either side of you, it comes quick, so you never really feel like you can just get an idea of where you need to be exactly, and that's going to happen.
Good shot by Blompey there, seeming to find his feet in this innings, and 5th boundary for Don Blompey.
Again, I think over pitch there. I think the first ball of the over, he's hit down the ground for 4, and that ball there, there's a bit of extra width that time, but full ball, half volley, these batters are set now. They've been there a while, they've got used to the conditions, they're not going to miss out on those, so he's going to have to be a little bit tighter with his line to finish up here, tighter with his length as well.
I think about 2, but just settling for the single. After the last ball of the over, Blompey will keep the strike. The hundreds come up inside the 13th over. So we're saying at the start, Lee, maybe a 160 sort of score, but what we've got left, 7 overs to go. 10 and over from here gets them to 170.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with that. I think that's from where they were at 10 overs. The 3 overs since the drinks break, they've really pushed on. If the game's going to continue as it originally has, we're going to see a couple of OVs wickets to get them back into the game. But this is the partnership. They desperately need a wicket here. These two get going on this pitch and this outfield. They'll be dangerous, and 170 might not be the right total. It might be more.
Continuing to be really tight here, Duckett. Just the 13 runs from his 3.1 overs so far. We'll look to finish this off with his last over here. And
yeah, there's a lot said for a right arm medium pace in the middle overs to mix your pace. All the talk in international cricket these days is 90 mile an hour and spin it both ways, but there's still a role in the club cricket game for your medium pacer bowling off 10 paces and keeper stood up wicket to wicket. So classic bit of club cricket going on here, and Rob Duckett showing just how good and useful it can be. He says.
Drop that one a bit shorter. Opportunity on the boundary, but over the head. No chance in the end. Thought when it left the bat it might just be dipping straight to the fielder, but no chance with that one. And there is our first 6 of the innings that we were talking about a short while ago.
And the commentator's curse coming back again. Just as I'm praising him for middle overs bowling, he drops one short, sits up. Harrison puts it away. He's not going to miss out on those. First bad ball he's bowled in his spell.
Thought the fielder was interested for just half a second, but And he was well positioned down there. But yeah, never going to stop that one from clearing the ropes. The first time, first 6 of the innings. And just as we were talking about the line and length, just dropped a couple short. Back on it there, and no run. So last ball here for Duckett in what's been that 6-a-side, a really excellent spell.
Yeah, I think if he can get out of his over here and finish with figures of around 22, 23 off his 4 overs, I think in these conditions you'd be very happy with that.
Again, just a little shorter there, and it gave Blompey the opportunity to get the ball off the outside the circle and off the square, but it's just the single. Good fielding on the boundary, and that does complete Duckett's spell as he finishes with figures of 0 for 22. He'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, middle overs bowling nicely there. The one bad ball he wished had back. Those figures could have looked very different without that 6, but I think he's done a job for his team there at the far end. I think you can see with the economy rates from the other bowlers, that's a great spell for the team and has kept them in touch here. Without those 4 overs, if they've gone anything differently up towards 10, I think St Wands are in an extremely strong position. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting final 6 overs here. These two have started to get going. You feel that momentum's now with St Wands, which is why they're having a chat at the top of the mark. What are the tactics? What are we going to here? I think calling Simo back's a good option, as we talked about at the start of the innings. You know, left arm seamer, something point of difference, something just to line up slightly different. The task here is to try and avoid the boundaries, but they have to get a wicket. One of these two needs to go in the next couple of overs, otherwise the game's going to start to get away from them.
Yeah, so Simpson it is, the early wicket that he got of Adam Hayward. Remains the only wicket accredited to a bowler so far. A superb run out as well if he weren't with us earlier. Over pitching there, and they'll get through for 1.
Keep coming here, boys.
Into the last 6 overs then. Nelson on the scoreboard at 1-1-1. 2 wickets down as Simpson comes in again.
It's good execution that from the seamer right in the block hole there. Harrison had nothing to do with that. Got himself off strike though, so
Yeah, even on the good ball there though, they're turning over the strike well.
yeah, that's what these two will do well when they're not finding the boundary. They'll keep ticking the scoreboard over. So
Attempted dive on the boundary, but couldn't prevent it going over the rope for another 4 for Don Blompey.
again, that width, giving him some width outside off stumps, not the game plan that you want here for Dom. He'll chuck his hands through that and he'll score plenty of runs there. He needs to tighten up his line. He's got 3 out on the leg side here, all in front of square. He needs to be bowling a bit straighter than that, although, as I say that, they've dropped backward point. So I think he's going to look to change his line or hold his line a little bit more off stump.
Again, over pitched and crossed the line.
Nice, Thomas. Nice, Thomas. Good stuff, boy.
Well fielded on the boundary, and Blompey moves to 43.
Lucky to find the fielder there.
Keep hitting it.
Lucky to find the fielder there. Loads of full toss on his pads. Be wanting to put that away for 4, but a bit of fielding on the boundary there from Elliot Corbell.
Might be in action again here, Corbell, and keeps it to just the 1. Both batsmen edging towards their half-centuries. And for one of these teams, they'll have 2 matches today, this semi-final and then the final later on against the home side Farmers Caesareans. Again, he's really trying to pitch the ball up, isn't he? It probably isn't too disappointed with some of the low full tosses.
Yeah, a lot of talk with
Difficult to hit, can't they?
yeah, exactly. And seam bowlers outside the power play, if you're looking to try and execute, I think if you're going to miss, you want to miss full. You know, leaving a short ball, as you saw in the last over from Robbie Duckett, too easy to get under and hit for 6. low full tossers be a bit of a surprise ball for batters at times, and as you see there, a couple of those in that over and they're going for a single or dot ball, they'll be happy with that. So if you're going to miss as a seamer, missing full tends to be the better option. So I think he'll think he's got away with a couple there, and I think one of these now, the chat's got to be, one of us has got to go here. I think they're both set nicely, they're both striking the ball well, the conditions are favouring the batters, so I think at this point now, with just 5 overs left, one of them's got to look to open up here and try and go big and really take this game away from OVs.
Change of bowling, Jack Stevens coming on from the far end. And furthest away from our commentary position, those of you that know the ground or have visited. We're just alongside the pavilion here at Farmers, looking out as Stephen starts his spell.
Push, 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 run up!
It's the first sign of maybe what we're looking for here for one of these batters to go big. If they're going to do it, new bowler on who's not familiar with conditions, first ball tends to be a bit more looser than normal, so batters will be looking to take him on here. As we said at the drinks break, maybe these batters are looking to target a bowler, and unfortunately for Jack, he might be the one, but saying that, it might be more opportunities for a wicket.
Carlyle looks to go big, and it's held on the boundary. Just one short of his half century, maybe looking to go past the 50. And it's caught on the boundary, and Carlyle goes for 49.
Yeah, stop-start innings, I think, from Harrison there. He'd be happy with the way he got himself going after not an easy power play for himself. Paddy looked like the one who was coming out the blocks a bit quicker. He'd be disappointed not to have gone on. He set himself up really nicely there for the last 5 overs. As we say, he was probably looking to open up a little bit more, and it's just a bit wider than he wanted it to be, and has just dragged it to deep cover there. So good catch on the boundary still. He struck it nicely, but yeah, the timing of that wicket not ideal for SOS. As we say, it's been pretty much a summary of this innings. Just as a couple of boundaries go, there seems to then be a fight back into the game, as you can see in the replay here. A good catch from young Theo on the boundary, who looks happy with the celebration there. The youngsters tend to, on social media and all that, tend to be seeing celebrations that they see on TV and wanting to copy them as much as he can. But yeah, great catch, pressure catch.
Yeah, but he didn't look under pressure on it. Looked very casual.
Ball came on him quickly. Those are often a bit easier. The ones that are steeplers straight up in the air, where you've got time to think about.
Yeah.
They can be the ones that really make it a bit more difficult. But when it's flat and at you, you've not got much time to think. So certainly in Theo's case there, that's probably to his benefit.
So the third wicket down, 122 the score. Inside the last 5 now. Just looking to see who's gone out to the middle here.
Ollie Nightingale looks like the new batter in the middle here.
Yep. Spot on. So less than 5 overs for Nightingale to try and make his mark with the bat here, and to really support Don Blompe, who's been in for some time now, hasn't he? So he'll certainly be seeing the ball well.
He's been playing a lot of cricket lately, obviously the new Guernsey national captain this year. He's taken on the reins, and as you saw from last weekend, with the positive result on the series win for Jersey, Guernsey took the last game.
Yeah.
So Ollie was obviously delighted with that. He's been playing his cricket in Jersey for a number of years, and he's played many times for SOS, so an experienced middle order batter for them.
Stevens bowled and looked. So he's just trying to paddle that over the keeper, perhaps.
Yeah, he's certainly not what you'd describe as a power hitter. He's not one who's going to be hitting it back over the bowler's head for 6, but he hits the ball in funny areas. He's difficult to set fields to, so he's certainly one that SOS will want to get going.
Well, he's off the mark, just the single though, and having seen his first ball go to the boundary, Stevens, he's come back well with the wicket, couple of dots, and then that single down to a pretty straight area. A bit more width on that one. Again, I think it's just going to be one though, so Stevens will be chuffed with that, I think, having gone for the boundary first up.
Yeah, great comeback, and I think that for a seamer coming into the game at this stage, late in the game, where the batters are looking to take the game to the opposition, I think it's you know, it's a good over and he'd be happy with the run of ball there. So yeah, it sets it up nicely. I think a bit of a difficult conundrum here with Dom and a new batter at the other end. Dom will want to open up and look to score a few more boundaries than he has done, but at the same time, if he goes now and brings 2 new batters to the crease, it could really kill momentum in the innings. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see which way he goes, and I think certainly from SOS point of view, they'll want him to hang around for these final 4 overs and be not out after the 20.
Yeah, it feels a big difference between a 150 and a 170 being posted here, and I think if Blompi's there at the end, you're right, it's going to be the higher of the 2.
Yeah, absolutely. These next 4 overs sounds a bit cliche, but the game's been set up like that for wickets in hand. Last 4 overs. I think the only question will be how early does he go? Does he give it a couple more before he really opens up and looks to score big off the over, or is he going to continue just ticking along and seeing if they can get close to 8s or 10s from the next couple of overs and then try and score big off the last few?
Pullman it is then. His 3rd over.
It's well executed there. He's set the field for a full wide Yorker there. He's got 3rd man back, he's got cover point back. So there's a clear plan there to go wide Yorker, I believe. And if that was the plan, he's executed nicely there. So that's some good skills from a 17-year-old young seamer.
Not seen much spin in this innings. I know we'll have some in the innings to follow, the likes of Elliot Miles in the line-up for St. One.
Yeah, I think we're going to see 2 different bowling attacks here. I think St. One's strength is the spin, with years of experience of wily left-arm spin of Elliot Miles, also known as Buster. There you go.
Yeah, looking to speed things up here with the bat. 4 runs.
It's a nice shot. That's his game. He's going to move around a lot. He's going to try and create angles for him to access that boundary behind square in the leg side and the offside. As I say, he's not going to be one to stand and deliver. He's going to be busy. And if he doesn't quite get it to the boundary, he'll be running hard between the wickets. That's his game. To be honest, both of them tend to match it. I know Dom's had some fantastic innings this year, one against MCC for Jersey A in particular, where he was devastating with the bat, so he can clear the ropes when he wants to, but Ollie's going to certainly be busy and look to use the pace a bit more.
Hold him. Pitched up again, playing across the line. And bowling full works again.
Yeah, we see it often in this innings, just as a boundary and the momentum starts to creep towards SOS. OVs fight back. It's yeah, a sign of these 2 teams. I think they're evenly matched. And yeah, I think Ollie again looking to try and create those angles, getting across to off stump, and this time ball beats the bat and yeah, curtains.
Yeah, so Nightingale gone. There's the replay. Playing across the line, I think, and right on the mark from Pullman.
Yeah, it's executing to his field. He had men back there and he was able to go full and straight. I think it's, again, like we talked about before, if you're going to miss full, low full toss there makes it a little bit more difficult to get under. So yeah, big wicket for OVs, and as we say, the final score here, they'll be wanting to try and really finish strong here and keep them around anything between 150, 160. I think they'll be happy with the back lineup that they've got on this wicket. But I think Don Blomps is still the crucial wicket that they'll want here in the last couple of overs.
Yeah, Robbie Forrest is the new batsman that joins Don Blompi in the middle. Forrest on strike for the first time. Finds gets bat on ball first up, but no run. Feels like Lumpy's been on in the 40s for a little while here, not had loads of the strike recently.
Yeah, that'll be the message to Robbie here. Again, he's not a power hitter who's going to stand and whack it to all parts of the ground. So his job will be get Dom on strike and get him 5 balls of the over, the man who's set, ready to go.
Yeah.
So he'll know that. 2 balls left in this over. He might be trying to think about looking for a boundary, just taking a gamble for the last couple of balls and keeping Dom on strike at the other end.
He's off the mark now. And get back for a second.
Nice batting into the ball early. Full face of the bat, running hard between the wickets. New batters can get a good start on this wicket, so he'll be happy with that. He's got one ball here. If it goes to the boundary, that's the perfect scenario for SOS, because Dom will be on strike next over.
Another edge in this innings. That one's going to race away all the way for 4.
A few have gone down there today. It seems to be a high scoring area for SOS at the moment, whether they've meant it or not. Nothing they could do there with the pace on the ball, and that might come into play in the second innings. We talked about the difference in the bowling attacks. I think certainly we'll see a lot of overs of spin. As we mentioned before, you've got Ellie Miles, you've also got Dom Blomps, who bowls leggies as well. You've got Harrison Carlyon, who's an experienced spinner, and Kush Patak, who is a great pickup for SOS this year. Come into the side as another left-arm spinner. It's just a good matchup to right-handers, and there tend to be a lot more of those than the lefties. So he's bowled really nicely this year, picking up wickets, and he'll be crucial for them, whether in or out of the power play. So yeah, I think we're going to see a very different second innings with a lot more spin.
Stevens continuing, and another run on to the scoreboard. 136 for 4 inside the last 3 overs now, so feels like it's time to see an explosion of boundaries, and that's the attempt, and it's a
Fantastic shot.
great shot. It's a strange kind of follow through to it, but it flew off the bat.
Yeah, big bit of bottom hand coming through
Yeah.
at the finish there. Rob's I'm told, a fantastic hockey player. I don't follow it myself, but he's certainly in and around the men's hockey side, so you can see the strength of his bottom hand coming through that shot over extra cover there. And also another sign of a good wicket if you can come in and hit through the line as strong as that third ball of your innings.
Looking for something a bit different this time, and again a run down behind the keeper, or 2 runs down behind the keeper. It's almost like you need the old-fashioned backstop today. It's just so many runs going.
Yeah, I think
Going down
would
there.
Definitely be a strength of this SOS batting lineup. As I say, it's probably lacking a bit of firepower in terms of clearing the ropes. We've only seen 1-6, but that doesn't mean that they can't find funny areas of the field to score in.
Yeah, again, you can. Now you've said that hockey background, you can see it, can't you, in the way he swings. Gets another run there and brings Blompy on to face on 46. Just one hit potentially away from a half century. We saw Harrison Carlyon go 1 short of his 50. And again, in behind the keeper and called through for a single, probably a bye, I think. Yep, bye signalled.
Yeah, not the worst result, I think, for OVs there when there's a set batsman on 46 not out. I think the least amount of balls that they can bowl to Dom in these last couple of overs as possible they'll be happy with, although Robbie started well. Oh.
Yes, Bobby! Oh, good, Bobby!
Well, he's certainly hitting it cleanly, isn't he?
I think I'm going to have to eat my words there. I'm talking about him not being one who's going to come in and hit it back over their head for 6, and he's done exactly that. He's going to be delighted with that. He's currently doing some work for us at Jersey Cricket, so unfortunately I'm going to be hearing about that for the next 7 days, and most likely he'll be re-watching this on YouTube, putting some highlights out there and sending it round. So fantastic shot in the slot there from Jack. He would be unhappy with that execution. I think that was too easy for him to get under and hit back over his head, but this little cameo from Robbie Forrest has been exactly what SOS wanted.
150 for 4, then last 2 overs of this game. It's Pullman's last over. 32 off his 3 so far. 1 wicket a short while ago.
Big couple of overs here. Theo's been going at over 10s, so he'll be wanting to finish strong.
And we're saying that
executing.
saying it feels a big difference between 150 and 170. Well, the 150's there and in the bag, and chance to push on then and get it somewhere north of 170 perhaps. Here comes Pullman again.
Yeah, Dom trying to get a bit creative with his movement on the crease there. He would have wanted something a little bit more onto his pads to tuck away with a short, fine leg up. But clearly the plan here for Theo is wide Yorkers. We've got, as again, deep third. As I say that, they're actually bringing point up, so game plan might be changing slightly. With Robbie having hit a big 6 down the ground, that might have put a different thought in the captain's head to what he would usually do. But that's the game of cat and mouse of T20 cricket.
Yeah, getting creative now. 4 runs will be the signal.
Lovely shot. 19 now off 7 balls. This is what you want from the last few overs of the innings, and I think James and Galley are certainly going to have to put their heads together here and come up with a plan, because Robbie's hitting it in all parts of the
Striking
ground.
there, we see
23
it.
off 8.
Striking at 287 odd, so
That's what you want from the last few overs of the innings.
and actually the run rate through the bulk of the innings has been around the 7.5, but up to nearly 8.5 now. Well, that's high, and swung away, and swung all the way for 6. Right off the middle of the bat, and it sails away.
A big shot there, and a real loosener from the bowler. He'll want to have that one back. Extras can cost you, and a no ball follows with a free hit. So we've got a lot of work to do here for them to get themselves back into the game. It's not the start to the over he wanted, and Robbie's going really well here. So yeah, he's going to have to bowl that one again. And he struck it really nicely all the way through to the greenhouses. So fair bit of finding to do, which might cause a little break in play here. But yeah, I think Robbie will be delighted with how he's gone so far.
Yeah, 7 scored off that ball, with the no ball signalled as well. So the umpire's just coming to the pavilion. Maybe new ball required.
Big chat going on in the middle here. Some experienced head. Charlie Brennan's played international cricket. So is James. So is Galley. Galley played for a number of years, albeit mainly in the 50 over format. But there's a good conversation being had about what do we need to do here. It's not easy as a young seamer when you're on the back foot. But he's certainly got to come up with something a little bit different here and see what we can come up with.
Ten balls remaining in the innings. Already 162 on the scoreboards. So now that 170 would be really disappointing from here.
Yeah.
Especially when you just scored 7 off 1 ball a moment ago.
Agreed. That's always a killer in the final overs. Those extras, no balls with the free hit that comes with it next as well. So he's already gone for a few, and now he's got to back it up with a free hit for the batter. So see what Robbie goes to here, but he's striking the ball beautifully.
Again, moving around in the crease. I think it's just going to be a single. So actually, for the free hit, Pullman will be pretty happy with that. Just to concede the one off the next ball.
Yeah, good comeback there. Robbie trying to be very creative there, striking 30 off just 10 balls. The confidence will be flowing, that's for sure. He won't be thinking anything negatively right now. This is where you want to be as a batter.
Going to try and get back for 2. This will be tight. Direct hit might have been in trouble, but get through for 2 and takes Blompe to 49.
Yeah, great running between the wickets there for Robbie. As a non-striker, he gets a bit of a head start. So he knows that if he turns and goes from the start, it's going to have to be a very good throw from James Duckett to run him out there. And that's exactly the sort of pressure that you need to be putting on the opposition in these last few overs that Robbie seems to have done single-handedly here.
Slower ball, I think. And just turned out into the leg side to bring up a half century for Dom Blompe. Played very nicely from 43 balls. And has been the mainstay, really, along with Carlisle, the mainstay of this innings and this St One Springfield effort.
Yeah, this is the sort of innings Dom's plays well. I think he probably would have liked a few more runs against his name at this stage, but the way that he came into the crease, couple down, he's rebuilt nicely with Harrison firstly, and then obviously Robbie's come in, taken a lot of pressure off him at the other end, which has been helpful for him. But yeah, seeing his side to pretty decent total here. So yeah, one over to go with Dom on strike. He'll be looking to open up here, and as we said, anything north of 170 is a good total with scoreboard pressure. But I think OVs will potentially take a little bit of positivity about the fact that Robbie's been able to come in here and score so freely. It's a good sign for batters coming forward for the rest of the day. So there's a bit of encouragement from them that if a new batter can come in and be 30 off 11, this is a sign of a good wicket.
Yeah, in just 15 balls, good partnership has developed here between this pair. And as you say, into the last over now, and going to post a competitive score. Seeing who's going to bowl. Looks like James Duckett, the captain, bringing himself back on for the last over.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting decision. Dom would certainly feel a bit more comfortable against spin. He's got a good game plan of reverse sweeps here, so he might go to that.
I don't know what the opposite of a commentator's curse is, but it's exactly what he's done, and he's connected with it really nicely as well. Flew off the bat.
Yeah, I've worked with Dom for a number of years now. Know him pretty well, both on the cricket field and away from the cricket field. So when I saw both men up in the offside there, I thought that's a easy win for him.
More traditional traditional shot down to long off. Just the single.
Good comeback ball from Duckett there. Difficult to get under as a batter. So on to Robbie now with 4 balls to go, striking as well as he has.
Thumps down to the same fielder down there in the deep, and again just the single. 6 off the over so far, off the first 3 balls of it.
Yeah, good comeback this. They'll want to avoid any boundaries to finish, but Dom will be looking for it here.
Yeah, well done on the boundary there. Some great work out in the deep. Might have been Galashon, was it, out there?
Yeah, it was. Gally running around. He's a left-handed thrower as well, so that's never easy coming to his right-hand side. So did well to get down. He's an older head, let's say, in this OV side, out on the boundary there. He's not the quickest on 2 legs, so he did well to get round and save a boundary.
Might be a couple there if they're got the wits about them. Might get back for 3 actually, but happy enough for 2.
No, good recovery. It looks like Charlie Brennan out there in the business area, one of the better fielders. Great pair of hands. So he again did well. Good couple of boundary saves from OVs to finish here, and Dom will be wanting to finish with a flourish.
Well, I won't be too disappointed with that last over, I shouldn't think. The fielding side to restrict just to the 1 boundary off the 20th over, and finishes of figures of 0 for 32, James Duckett. And St Juan Springfield finished with 177 for 4, and we said at the outset, you know, that's 160, 170 maybe feels about right.
Yeah, I think
about
with
par.
The pressure on the game, scoreboard pressure can often come into it. So yeah, second innings here, it's not going to be easy. I think, as with most T20 cricket, a lot's going to be on this power play. If OVs can come out and score quickly early, this 177 will feel a lot easier. Early wickets for SOS will put them right in the driving seat. So yeah, I think probably 7 above par. Some people might feel differently, but I think with the third, fourth, the semi-final here, I think a lot of pressure goes on it to get to the final.
And excellent innings from Dom Blompe, finishing on 60, and an excellent partnership in the middle of the innings with Harrison Carline as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said at the start, that it was going to be a lot on those 2. They knew that. That's probably why they batted the way they did, knowing that they needed to score a bulk of the runs here. But I didn't think they were quite expecting Robbie to come out and strike like he did there. He's not necessarily known for it, but fantastic performance. 31 off 12. Number 6 batter to come in and do that. It takes a lot of pressure off the other end.
We're going to head pitchside in just a moment, down to the boundary and get some reaction to that innings. Let's do that now. Phil Bouchard is down on the boundary edge.
Harrison, congratulations on that knock of yours, and also the team effort this morning. Do you think that score you put on the board is enough for this game?
I think it's a good score. Like, at the end of the day, we know it's only half the job. It's a flat wicket, really quick outfield. We're going to have to still be on it. They've got a couple of dangerous players in there that the game can get away from us quite quickly, so it's only half the job done.
we saw a great partnership between you and Dom, and then Robbie came in as well, and he took over where you left off. So you're happy with that?
Yeah, really happy. Like, we were just trying to set the game up and then go the last 5-6 overs. It was a bit of a shame to get out when I did, but I didn't expect Robbie to come out and bat like that. I think he surprised even himself there, so that was absolutely top draw from him. So
Fantastic. Get in the locker room and we'll see you for the reverse in a few minutes.
thank you very much.
Harrison Carlisle there speaking to Phil and reflecting on that 177 for 4. Do you describe it as parish?
Yeah.
Who's happy? It feels really well poised to me.
Yeah, I think I'd be SOS at this stage. I think the momentum is a big thing in T20 cricket, and it felt like when Robbie came out, those last 4 overs in particular, momentum swung their way. They'll be joyed. They'll be up and about in the dressing room now, ready to get out there and hit the power play hard. And I think OVs will probably feel as if that last 5 overs in particular got away from them. They'd have wanted something around 160, and maybe we thought they'd get that at one stage. So yeah, it's a chaseable total. Scoreboard pressure will be a big factor, but I think I'd want to be in SOS's camp with runs on the board.
So, really well poised, exciting second part of this game to come. A reminder, the winning team will go on to face Farmer Caesareans in the final this afternoon, 3 o'clock-ish here at the ground. But brief break from us and then we'll be back with the run chase with 178 the target. So welcome back here on the live stream to the Farmers Cricket Ground in Jersey here in the Channel Islands, and we're nearly set for the run chase. St Juan Springfield having posted 177 in their innings. Don Blompe, the standout batsman, with 60 runs, backed up by skipper Harrison Carr-Lyons, 49, just falling short of his half century. So 178 is the target for the old Victorians to try and chase down if they're to get a spot in this afternoon's final. A reminder for those of you not with us earlier, the way it works is there's already been a league stage, and this current match is effectively the semi-final, second against third, with the winners of the league stage, Farmers, awaiting the winners of this one in this afternoon's final, which will also bring you live. So this is the Brooks Macdonald Premier T20 Finals Day, and pleased to say alongside me for the first few overs of the run chase is Sarah Gomersall from Jersey Cricket. Sarah, it's a brilliant day. Supporters starting to come in, and we're set for what should be could be a close game. It feels about the par score.
It does. It feels like it's all set up for an exciting second inning, and like you say, the crowd building. So I think we should expect some cheering and everybody getting involved.
Yeah, I think for the final this afternoon, especially with Farmers, the home side being in the final, should have a pretty good crowd in to watch, and we'll find out in the next hour and a half or so who they're going to be playing. Just while we wait for the first delivery, I suppose it's a chance. Something we didn't touch upon in the first innings is the prize at stake for the winning team today.
Yeah, absolutely. Trip to Spain, trip to Malaga to represent Jersey in the European Cricket Championship, and all filmed, live streamed, very professionally organised, much like it is today. So yeah, everybody looking forward to that, and of course it's T10 format, so another exciting format for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, so not just being crowned the champions at stake today, but also that trip. I think we're ready for the run chase to begin. Elliot Corbell out there in the middle to face the first delivery. Straight away advancing up the pitch, and there's no run there, but bat on ball straight away. Charlie Brennan at the other end, opening the batting on what is a lovely sunny day. A little bit of breeze in the air as well, just a cooling breeze drifting across the ground here at Farmers.
I think the players will appreciate that. It seems to have picked up slightly from the first innings, which will be very welcome.
Playing a miss there, through to the wicket keeper, and again decent bounce through to Googe, the wicket keeper. This is Barney Aston opening the bowling from the far end as we look on here in our commentary position. And a 178 the target to get themselves into this afternoon's final against Farmers. First real shot in anger that makes connection. I'm not sure if it went all the way even. 4 is the signal from the umpire. Can't have been far off going all the way to clear the boundary. And I thought it had potentially gone all the way, but the umpire signalling 4. Great shot down the ground. Oh, it's reversed his decision and has now given the 6. So
Crowd pleaser.
yes, I'm not sure if that's the reason he's given the 6, but it certainly has pleased the bulk of those sat to our right. And yeah, some way to open your run chase. First runs of the run chase, and it's a maximum off the bat of Elliot Corbell. Straight up into the air. Is it going to drop safe? It does. And there's nearly a mix-up as well, as the batsmen were watching the ball in the air rather than where they should have been running. Chaos out there for a moment, but ultimately it ends up in 1 run.
Maybe potentially a few nerves in this first over.
Yeah, we saw a few fielding lapses in the first innings as well. So yeah, which shows how much it means to the players actually, and it's there is a sense of occasion about a day like today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all set up here for a good day. The weather's playing its part. Farmers obviously hosting. They're going to have their barbecue going, and Jimmy's renowned burgers. They're going to be available after this game. And like you said before, a lot to play for. The prize is something that has really reinvigorated domestic cricket. So really good.
Brennan facing his first ball and is happy just to defend that one out into the offside. A left hand, right hand opening partnership here for the Old Victorians.
Yeah, it can sometimes be tricky for the opposition, of course.
Yeah, Barney Aston just be looking to find his line of length here in this first over. Being dispatched for 1-6, but relatively tight aside from that. And that one's going to fly away to the boundary as well. I don't think it was quite off the middle, but takes OVs into double figures at the end of the first over. 11 without loss, and off to a decent start in the run chase. Both batsmen finding the boundary in the first 6 balls.
Yeah, I think they'll be pleased with that first over. Get themselves ahead of the required run rate, and yeah, everything to play for. So. Winners of the final, as we were saying, go to Spain to play at the Cartamar Oval, the T10 competition.
Great experience.
And they play then winners of representative sides in other countries. So the England representative side won it last year. Big occasion, very well organised, well set up tournament, much runs like ICC international tournaments. Players have anti-corruption briefings, full medics on side, all that kind of thing. Very official, lots of marquees, lots of razzmatazz, and exciting commentary, much like yours.
Well, yeah, I have heard some of their commentary. They're a bit livelier than me.
Mr. Maximo!
Yeah, we've not had many Maximos on the commentary today, but...
No. Time yet.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be Buster from this end, Elliot Miles. So, didn't see loads of spin in the first innings, and let's see what Miles can do from this pavilion end. Fires it in with a fair bit of pace. His left arm, and leg by is the signal from the umpire, John Gregory. And yeah, this is the thing, the left-hand, right-hand partnership at the top of the order. It just means between each ball, the field is having to run that little extra. It's a relatively warm day. It is hot out there, but as we were saying, the breeze is drifting across.
Yeah, well, of course it'll be hot in Spain, so they need to get used to it. Do we think that was a failed man card, or do we just think that was a pull away?
Well, he can be a lively character, can Miles, so I don't know if that was going through his mind, but nothing
Seems very
doing.
early in the second over, doesn't it?
Yeah.
See how we go.
Lovely shot. Pierces the offside field, and the diving effort of the fielder, might be Nightingale there, couldn't stop it, and through it goes, and already Brennan 2 boundaries in his 8 runs and 3 balls faced, so off to a really positive start, the left-handed batsman. Happy just to fend that one into the leg side, and there's no run.
And of course we're all excited for going to Germany next week with the men's national side, where hopefully Charlie Brennan will play a big part in our batting lineup there.
Not off the middle by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the same outcome. Down to third man area, and 4 runs. So he's off to a really positive start. We've seen Corbell find the boundary with a 6 of his own. So both batsmen starting well here in the power play. Swing across the line and not connecting on this occasion. Decent line of length there from Miles, and had to be dug out. Not the most convincing looking shot, but survives, and end of the second over. And the Victorians OV's going at 10 and over in the first two. So away from the club stuff, Jersey cricket, some big tournaments coming up as well. The women have been in action recently as well, I've seen. So lots going on in local cricket.
It is. It's a very busy time alongside the domestic season. The men have got their first T20 World Cup qualifying tournament next week, the sub-regional qualifiers in Europe. So we travel to Germany on Wednesday. Thursday we're going to have some warm-up matches, a couple of T20Is against Germany. Gives us a chance to see them. They're probably our stiffest competition over there. Also gives a chance to see the venue before we start, the tournament proper as well. So, it's all starting to come together. And of course, we've got a new interim director of cricket as well. So it's a big test for him as well.
Harrison Carline it is, who's brought himself on to bowl this third over of the innings and starts with a dot. That's a nice looking shot. Gorgeous shot. And all the way for another boundary. They really have started well here.
We have our own Western Terrace.
And yeah, the supporters away to our right.
It looks like
Some
a
good
real
spirits.
sun trap.
How can Carline respond here? Oh, nearly responds with a wicket. Has he bowled him? He thinks he's bowled him. I wasn't sure if it had come back off the wicket-keeper first up, and I think that's why Corbell stayed there, but he has bowled him. You could see the bell was off. It was just hard to see in real time whether it had flicked off the keeper and back onto the side. We'll get a replay in a minute. But either way, Corbell is gone, and the first wicket in the third over of the run chase.
They'll be pleased with that breakthrough.
Yeah, the way the two openers had started, they'll be delighted to get that. Just dancing down the pitch, and when we get a replay, we'll bring that to you. But here we go. We'll take a look at exactly what happened as Corbell traipses off to our right-hand side. Here's a look at what happened here. Wasn't sure if it was just clean bowled or if it was the keeper that was involved. He's missed the ball.
He's well out of his crease. Difficult to see from that.
Either way, he's back in the pavilion, and there's a new batsman in to join Charlie Brennan, who's got off to a good start. James Duckett, by the looks of things, is out there, the skipper of the old Victorians, with some work to do. His opening batsmen have got them off to a good start, but now having lost that wicket, he's going to have to steady the ship a bit, especially against Carline, who's been on the money pretty much with his delivery so far. I know the previous one was dispatched for 4, but again, good line of length from Carline, an easy run out into the leg side. He's bowling well. When I first met Harrison, it felt like he was very much a batsman, but he's very much an all-rounder now.
Definitely developed his game, competitive with the ball as well, and I think that's him all round, isn't he? His competitive spirit, whatever he's doing. See him in the field.
Scored 49 with the bat earlier, and now he comes into bowl again. Again, batsmen looking to use their feet here. We saw it a bit in the previous innings, moving around in the crease. Here, it's batsmen looking to get down the wicket to the spin of Carline, but not connecting as he would have wanted there. Again, not quite timing it, not off the middle certainly, but it'll be 1 run from what's the final ball of Carline's first over. Goes for 6 off the over, and 26 for 1 is the score. Reminder of the winner of this will play Farms this afternoon, and the game will be live streaming for you as well. Both games on finals day being live streamed from here at the Farmers Ground. And plenty more streaming planned over the summer as well. Big summer of cricket, as we were saying, for Jersey cricket.
Yeah.
And the local club sides and the island side as well.
Yeah, so we've got live streaming lined up for our other key fixtures, domestically and internationally as well. So we'll have the Women's Interinsular for the first time live streamed, which will be good. Hopefully everybody gets behind the women's team, and as you said, last week went to Belfast, did incredibly well, really well. Progressing with every game, really.
Yeah, good to see as Aston comes back on, this time from the end nearest to our commentary position, the pavilion ends. Again, advancing down the wicket and happy just to take a single.
One of the youngsters, isn't he, Barney Aston, I think?
Yeah, there's a lot involved today actually, a lot of young players, good to see.
Yeah, very much so.
16 years old is Barney Aston.
Yeah, what an occasion to play in, and so far is doing himself proud.
Crowd building all the time, people arriving here at the Farmers Ground as Aston comes in again.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find a much better venue than the Farmers Ground on a day like today.
Yeah, gorgeous setting, a little bit of cloud in the sky. I think it's due to be, touchwood, set fair for the day.
Yeah.
I think most people felt that the OVs who won the toss earlier on made the right call in fielding first. Just a little bit of cloud, but not a great deal at all. And that's gone high up into the air. Is it going to drop between it? Oh, there's dropped between four of them there. And second time in this innings already, and we've only had 3.5 overs. An absolute skyer that's dropped between the fielders. And
always challenging, isn't it? And you need one of them to come in early and shout and claim it. And
yeah, I mean, it's difficult for the bowler whose momentum would have taken him through the crease and away from the ball to then change, but there were 2 or 3 fielders around it and no one got close to it. So maybe a slightly slower ball there, well fielded by Miles, diving to his left, and the batsmen get through for a single. Just 3 singles off this over so far. .29 for 1 the score, and last ball of the over. It's been an excellent one from Aston. Just those, as I say, 3 singles, 2 dot balls from the over as he comes in again now.
yeah,
Yeah, well taken. He had to come in off the rope there, and it was middled as Aston had dropped the ball a bit shorter, but it's straight. In terms of the line of the shot, is straight at the fielder, but he had work to do to go and meet the ball, and they're awkward when they're dipping in front of you, and he's taken an excellent catch.
absolutely. And there I was thinking it was that tricky last ball of a tight over. Had he just got it wrong, but the fielder was in exactly the right place, and Don Bumpy took a good catch there.
Yes, a superb over from Aston. 3 runs off it and the wicket as well, and in the power play, the Rathbone Old Victorians have lost their 2nd wicket, so we just see the replay. It was a decent catch, and just about made sure he got his hands under it, Blompy.
Yeah.
And 29 for 2 then, so early wickets falling in the run chase after those string of early boundaries. 2 early wickets here in this innings too.
Yeah. So Jack Stevens, Charlie Brennan, 2 schoolmates. They really need to settle things here, don't they? And a lot on their shoulders now.
Yeah, two more young players involved in this game out in the middle together now as Carline continues. Yeah, wicket in each of the last 2 overs. Just slowed that lively start down. Brennan happy to prod that one back to the bowler. Again, used his feet really well. Well down by the fielder as well. No run for what was an excellent shot. No reward for it.
Yeah, Harrison's starting off quite tightly this over.
Yeah.
Feel you need a bit of a breakthrough, don't we, from the OVs?
Well, that's, again, it's not off the middle, but the outfield is fast here at Farmers, and it's going to go all the way to the rope.
Yeah.
Just looking to get a bit of momentum back into the innings, having lost those 2 wickets at the other end. Charlie Brennan moves to 19 from his 16 balls. A reminder, the target of 178 is the target that the OVs have been set here to get themselves into this afternoon's final. Again, a loopy one, it's taken. I think it's Miles that's taken the catch.
Yeah.
And that's a wicket in each of the last 3 overs now. And some trouble at 33 for 3. I think maybe they've just struggled to time some of these shots, looking to use their feet, but we've seen, 2 absolute skiers. That one not timed either. And even some that have gone to the boundary haven't been quite timed well.
Yeah.
So whether they're struggling to against the spin, maybe it's just proving difficult to get away. So or difficult to time, I should say. Here's just a look at the wicket.
Yeah.
Again, big stride in, was it? Yeah, outside is not the biggest stride, but looking to play it into the onside, I think.
Yeah.
And ends up mistiming it, and an easy catch for Miles.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, a lot of these players who are representing Jersey have been practicing on a mat recently.
Okay.
Games against Guernsey and against Denmark, of course, were also on artificial surfaces because that's what we'll play in the tournament when we go to Germany. I just wonder maybe how much of an impact that's having on some of them today.
All the threes then, 33 for 3. And last ball of this over to come.
A brave first run there, I think, you would say.
Luke Galashon out in the middle now, out there partnering Jack Stevens. 3 wickets in the power play. Really put St. Juan Springfield on top here. 5 overs down already as well. They're getting through the overs quickly. Looking to turn the screw here. And another couple of quick wickets in the next few overs and they'll be absolutely on top. Some work to do for the likes of Galashon and Stevens. Looks like Barney Aston's going to continue.
The other thing, of course, about the European Cricket Network is their commentators wear light, bright suits and big ties, don't they? All very flamboyant gold shoes.
Yeah, it's a brilliant spectacle, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe next time we line you up with that dress code, Tim.
Not totally sure if that's my style. I don't have any style, so I suppose anything goes.
That's a bit harsh.
Quick run taken there, and 35 for 3. Here's the score. But yeah, already a quarter of the way through the run chase.
Just starting to fall behind the run rate, aren't they now? Not surprising with a wicket in each over. So.
Yeah, nice and tight again. It does feel like maybe there's a bit of a rebuilding project to do here over the next couple of overs. Can't afford to lose another couple of quick wickets. But it's that balancing act of not wanting to give themselves an uphill task in the last 10 as well by falling too far behind. So Aston again.
That's the beauty of this format, isn't it? That, you know, especially in a run chase situation, you need to ground yourself, get your team back in a good space, but you can't take your time doing that. And of course the farmers are all here starting to get ready for their game, so they're keeping an eye on how both teams are playing.
Oh, middle that all the way for 6. And a much needed boundary for the Old Victorians. Just to look at some of the batting still to come. Cross-batted shot across the line out to mid-wicket, just the single, I think. And again, getting through the overs really quickly, considering the one ball had to be retrieved from over the rope.
The next parish.
Yeah, so 6 overs gone, 42 for 3 the score. Gallagher on 2, Stevens on 7, and that run rate required creeping up towards 10 and over.
Yeah. I don't think we ruled them out though. They know exactly what's what's in it to get to the final, and then of course getting to Cartama and playing in the ECN. They went there last year as representatives and did really well. I know from speaking to players they're very keen to get back there again. So, and farmers of course went 2 years running, so they're keen also to go back and represent Jersey. There's a lot at stake.
We didn't see much spin in the first innings of this game. Seeing a fair bit in this run chase. Looks like Don Blompe's coming on for his first delivery of the game, having scored 60 earlier with the bat. Now into the action with the ball.
Do you see yourself doing more commentary once you take up your new role?
Yeah, hope to keep covering the local sport. We've got, as we're saying, we've got the live streams coming up on as the season goes on. But yeah, hope to keep doing that. Again, they're not middling a lot of these shots. That's not a clean hit again. I know we've seen a couple of 6s. Oh, and that's hit the stumps on the return. There might be some overthrows here, but they think better of it, and it's just the single. But yeah, so there's been some clear shots, but and some clean hitting. But there's also been a lot of missed time shots in this innings.
Yeah.
A bit of repair work for the umpire to do with that return throw hitting the stumps. 44 for 3 inside the 7th over. Blompe just dragging that one down a little bit, but there's no run. And good economical bowling here in the last few overs, which wickets often brings, but keeping things pretty tight. That one's away into the leg side. There is a fielder out there. That's good running. Back for 2.
And I think it'd be good if we can keep you involved in sport more generally. The gantry, everybody enjoys reading that. So.
Oh, thank you. Just seeing if they're going to get 2 again here. Just the 1 this time. Yeah, there's lots of sport obviously going on across Jersey at the moment. There's lots of sport going on around the world with the Cricket World Cup and Euros, keeping everyone entertained. Football. And here at the Farmers Field we're being treated to a really interesting contest here with these early wickets, but what's the run rate? 6, just under 7 at the moment, but now it's crept up to the required run rate of just over 10, so a bit of disparity starting to appear between the current run rate and the required run rate from here on in. But I think most people felt that 177 was a good total, maybe just above par.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it sets it up for an exciting second innings, and certainly I think some people would be surprised at how tight the bowling's been.
So it looks like we might have another change of bowling here. Kush Patak, I think, coming on. Yeah, a lot of left arm spin, left arm slow bowling in this St. Juan Springfield side. And Kush comes on now with his team in a really good position. Kush having to field off his own bowling here, as again 3 or 4 fielders descend on the same ball.
I think that was a good intent there from Luke Galishon, knowing straight from the outset he was going for the 2.
And really aware of where the field placings were as well, to just knock it into that leg side and pick up the 2. Maybe slightly off the toe end of the bat, they'll pick up another. And past the 50 mark now in this run chase. Remember, 178 is the target to book a place in this afternoon's final against the home side Farmers Caesareans. Here comes Patak again then. And he gets his wicket. Playing across the line. And a 4th wicket falls for the old Victorians, and they are in a world of trouble now. Stevens it is who's gone for 12. And a lot will rest on the likes of Galishon, who's out there still in the middle. But bowled by Patak. And real trouble now for the old Victorians.
Yeah, the spin is definitely paying off for SOS Springfield.
Yeah, and I was looking at the pitch earlier. I wasn't sure if it would turn. It feels like it's been quite hard for them to get the ball away and to time the ball against the slower bowlers. And maybe working to their favour here, St. Juan Springfield. Here's the replay. This was the demise of Stevens. Felt in real time like he was playing across the line. We'll see here whether he's looking to turn the ball into the leg side. And hits the top of the stumps, and Stevens is gone.
So, I think this is Giles in now, is it? Yeah, Ed Giles.
Yeah, Giles bowled well in the first innings of this match, and now has to try and do something with the bat to help his side. No messing about there. from Giles. First delivery, swings all the way for 6.
Yeah, that's definitely out of the ground there and into the farmers' sheds.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's over that way? It's farmer sheds that side, is it?
Yeah, the windows are safe, but the roof got it. So.
Yeah, it might be new ball required.
And Giles no stranger to this situation, is he? Straight in, takes responsibility, and hits one out the ground.
Required run rate at around 10 then. 1 ball of the 8th over remaining. I'm just looking whether they're going to get that original ball back or not. I think the umpires have got a box out there. Are they just selecting which ball they're going to use? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see the last ball of this over, and then we'll have a change in the commentary position.
They've just taken the brand new one.
So new ball required, and it's in the hands of Patak now through the last ball of his first over, an over in which he's taken a wicket but just been dispatched for 6. So I want to finish strongly here at the end of his first over. And there's an opportunity here in the deep, and it's dropped. It was an excellent opportunity. Nightingale it was, who was coming in off the boundary, and a chance there for a 5th wicket inside the 8 overs, but not taken. And 58 for 4 is the score. Sarah, that's it for your stint on top. Thank you very much for joining us. Sarah Gomersall, the Chief Executive Officer of Jersey Cricket, joining us for commentary of this semi-final. Old Victorians up against St One Springfield, with the winner to play Farmers this afternoon. Part of that Farmers team is joining us in the commentary position now. Nick Greenwood. Nick, good to have you with us on commentary this afternoon. Just if you bring yourself in a little bit, and so we can hear you. What have you made of this then? Could have been 5 down within 8 overs.
Yeah, obviously great start with the bat and first innings from the team, Harrison and Dom. So posted a great score. I think we were discussing it, like 160 looked like par. So.
Yeah, we felt about 160 was parish. So what was it? 177. It was going to be a tough ask, but we felt it was set up for an exciting run chase, but not been a bright start as Miles bowls now. And we were just saying with Sarah, it feels like the batsmen not being, although there have been 3 or 4 sixes in the innings, generally not being able to time the ball against the slower bowlers.
Yeah, I think the spinners have tied them down well, changes of pace. They're all very different kinds of spinners as well. Obviously Buster darting it in a bit more here.
Again, didn't look like it was completely cleanly timed, but it's going to be 1 out to the leg side. And so you're in early, not just to do a bit of commentary, but it's scouting ahead of this afternoon's final.
Yeah.
What have you made of it? Because we didn't see much spin in the first innings. Actually, there's a lot of pace or medium pace, but St One Springfield seemingly like they're relying on the left arm and spinners, and it seems to be working for them at the moment.
Yeah, I spoke to a couple of the batsmen from the first innings. They said like Seaman came on pretty well to the bat, and then they obviously didn't have much spin, so they couldn't speak for it. But Jim reckons it will take a little bit of turn. Maybe it looks like slower bowlers are really doing the work here. So yeah, it'll be a good matchup. We've got a few spinners in our team. So
yeah, something to look out for in the final. The way things are shaping up, that would be against St One Springfield, but still plenty of time in the game. 12 overs of the run chase, but the required rate needed now around 10. Over 10, so it will be a tough ask from here, especially with number 6 already in at the crease. Luke Galashon out there on a runnable 7 at the moment. And he's on face now. 61 for 4. And continuing to get through these overs really quickly. Nice shot, no run. That's the end of the 9th over. 61 for 4. Nick, we've got people tuning in from all around the world. Just tell everyone a bit about yourself, where you're from.
Yeah, so I was born in Jersey, but I moved to New Zealand when I was 2 years old. So I've grown up in Wellington all my life.
Yeah.
Not until 2019 did I come back to Jersey and started playing cricket for Jersey. So it was a long time since I've been back, but now I'm here. It's been great playing for the national side. Made some really good friends, and obviously back this year playing a bit of club cricket has been awesome. So.
And if we just go back a bit, how did your debut for Jersey come about, having moved away at such a young age? How did they find out about you? Was it a phone call in? By the way, I'm quite good at cricket. Can you pick me?
I was playing club cricket in Manchester, and one of the guys in that team went to university with Ben Stevens, and they got in contact, and they're always on the lookout for more players. So I had a phone call from Neil McRae 2 days later, and he said, would you like to have a net session? I said sure, and then about a week later I was playing against the Netherlands A down in Essex, and then so it was a good opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean it's been certainly under Neil McRae, it's been a really successful period for the islands. You know, amongst the top 25 odds. We'll just watch this delivery. Lovely shot. That one's definitely middled, and we might need another new ball here. In fact, it might be the previous ball that was lost now being returned. So when they're timing it, it's flying off the bat, but it feels like it's been a struggle to time it. We'll just go back to you then, Nick, and Jersey being amongst the 30 best kind of nations, and for a place like Jersey, where we don't often get to represent the island on an international scale, that must be brilliant to have seen that progress and been part of that progress.
Yeah, obviously we haven't quite gone as far as we would have liked. Still got the dream of being part of a World Cup at some stage, but obviously winning the Challenge League a couple of years ago was awesome. I think the way the team's developed from such a young team, it's been great. So I think we've got obviously new coaches in now, bit of a change for us, which is good. I think it's probably needed. We need a bit of a refresh, so a good chance for us to, I guess, slightly alter our playing style and see what we can get out of it.
Another one high into the air, and for the third time in this innings already, it drops between 2 or 3 fielders.
Nice, Sammy! Nice, Sammy!
And through for, is it 1 or 2 there? Just the one. So and now back here with farmers, enjoying your time back here, doing a bit of coaching as well.
Yeah, it's been great to be back on the island. I think that the weather's come through this week, which has been great. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I haven't spent a whole bunch of time here, so it's nice to kind of settle in and just enjoy it, living on the island. And then obviously playing for farmers is great. I've played a few games here for Jersey, and it's a great place to play cricket, especially on days like this. Jim does a great job with the ground. So
yeah, should be a decent crowd in this afternoon for that final. A little uppish again, but loads of space out there on the leg side, and through for another run to take the score to 69 for 4. And nearly at the midway point in this run chase in terms of overs. Just a couple of balls left until the 10 over mark, and a real uphill battle ahead for OVs here. Big appeal goes up. I wondered if some bat might be involved, but the umpire's finger goes up. Didn't spend too long thinking about that, and Carlyon has another wicket, and the old Victorians lose another wicket, and in all kinds of trouble at 69 for 5.
Yeah, it's great bowling from Harrison. He's taken a few big wickets in this game, and obviously with the bat, 49 in the first innings. He is one of the better players on show, obviously a star for Jersey as well, so fully expected him to have a decent day out here.
Well, I think they're going to take drinks 1 ball early, but we'll just have a look at this. Obviously harder to tell from side on. We'll have a look at this LBW shout. The big appeal went up. Sort of, when I first saw it, I thought maybe I'd heard 2 noises, but maybe it was bat onto pad, and the umpire's finger raised, and a 5th wicket goes down. And yeah, all kinds of trouble with number 7 coming in. Looks like it's going to be Bo to come to the crease. Bo Gurner will join Luke Galashon in the middle. Yeah, looks like Harrison enjoyed that one on the replay.
Yeah, he does like his celebrations, Harrison. He sure does. He carries on a little bit, but we'll let him have that one. He's done well today, so.
Yeah, you're right. 49 with the bat, chipping in with 3 wickets already in 2.5 overs. The other real good display with the bat, Dom Blompey as well. I think it was 60 that he made in the 177. Was the mainstay of the innings really, and he's bowled a bit as well. So some real all-rounders in here. Obviously Dom's bowled 1 over for 5 as well. So you got Harrison and Dom in the arm wrestle for man of the match, I would think.
Yeah, I mean Dom's innings was perfect for them. Just kind of held it together. Just sensible cricket, and then targeted a few overs at the end. I think sort of thing we'll probably look to do in the second innings. Have a guy bat through, and people go hard at the other end. It's a good recipe, it seems. So.
Yeah, so the players just taking drinks. They're just in the changing room to our right, just taking some fluid on board. There is we mentioned it earlier, there is a bit of a breeze, but it's a nice sunny day here at the Farmers Cricket Ground in Jersey, here in the Channel Islands. Here's just a quick look at how the innings has unfolded so far then. Corbo at the top, and no one really able to bat many balls. I mean, what's the most anyone's faced? They're 17, is it? Charlie Brennan, yeah. So no one really able to get themselves going.
They've kind of threatened to get going throughout the innings, but I mean, they've just kept taking wickets, haven't they? I mean, it's hard to keep any real run rate pressure on as a batting side when you're just constantly losing wickets, every 2 overs. So, I mean, massive credit to the bowling side here. Just great bowling, really.
Yeah, still over 100 needed then. And a reminder, we'll have live coverage of the final this afternoon, 3 o'clock start. Farmers to play the winner of this one. Looks like it's going St. Springfield's way, up against the OVs. OVs actually finished second in the table, and St. Springfield third, which set up this semi-final match. Farmers having won the league stage of this, able to progress straight to that final this afternoon, and waiting to see which of the sides it will be. And if it's to be Old Victorians, there's something very special is going to have to happen here from the likes of Luke Galashon, who when he hits it, he can hit a long ball.
Yeah, we actually had a win last weekend against the Wannies, and we came from behind in that game with new player Scott coming in and whacking 30 off not many balls. So it is still possible. It's a quick outfield. Boundaries aren't massive, but I think they'll have definitely a tough task for them. Someone really have to get going at the end here.
So players making their way back out after drinks. Pretty much the midway point in the 20 overs. 10.1 to go. 69 for 5 now. I think there's one ball left in this Carlisle over.
Come on, Greenwood, on your cash, mate. Come on.
As the players make their way back out into the middle.
Let's get on with it.
Yeah, it looks like the breeze that is here, just looking at the flags over to our right, is kind of down towards the car park. The spinners, the left armers have really impressed in this innings, and it's just something we didn't really see in the first innings.
Yeah, I think the best thing about their bowling, they've kept the stumps in play. So obviously when they have missed, it's been RBW or bowled. Just tight lines, not letting them free their hands on this wicket, which I think may possibly in the first innings, maybe a touch wide from some of their bowlers.
Last ball of the Carlisle over. And it's a dot. So midway through, 69 for 5, 10 overs down. And still a long old way to go, still over 100 required. Required run rate well over 10 now. Which is doable, but with 5 wickets down, it's a real tough ask. Do you have a preference of which side you want to face in the final before the game, or? Or not too fussed
Not
either
really.
way?
Like we kind of discussed it as a team at training on Thursday night, and we weren't really sure. I think like both pretty evenly matched, to be honest. We had good games against both sides, and yeah, I think it'll be a good game regardless. We definitely don't have a preference. So.
Yeah, make sure you tune in for that one this afternoon, the final of these Brooks Macdonald T20 League, the finals day, and the final will be at 3 o'clock this afternoon here at the Farmers. Nice shot that, just waited for the ball to come onto the bat, and away it goes to the boundary for a much needed 4, and takes Luke Galashon into double figures.
Yeah, I think OVs will have to target this over. Obviously, Seam back on, they haven't managed to get the spinners away, so if they want to get back in this game, I think this over probably needs to go for a few here.
Yeah, Adam Hayward it is who's on. His first ball's gone for 4, so maybe a bit of pressure on him despite the scoreboard being very healthy. And showing that there is still some bounce there for the pace bowlers if they look for it.
Yeah, I saw Barney bash a length nicely up the top. Got a few top edges, unlucky to probably not get a few more wickets. But yeah, it looks like it's good carrying it, nice hard wicket. So.
So one more for the score. You have to reload and go again. Through to the keeper, no run. Still 109 more required for the Old Victorians. Might get back for 2. They're thinking about a second, but no, well fielded, just the single. Seen quite a few full deliveries in the first innings as well. Some of those pace bowlers we were talking about looking to really pitch it up, and actually seemed happy enough with a low full toss at times. You know, just can be hard to get away. Another full delivery there on this occasion from Adam Hayward.
Yeah,
Can be difficult to get the low full toss away.
Yeah, I think the idea of you're a little bit under pressure as a bowler, you'd probably rather miss slightly full. If you're in the slot, it's quite easy for the batsman, especially on a wicket like this.
Again, right up, almost Yorker length that time, dug out.
So yeah, I think a few of our bowlers might go to similar plans. Obviously, the pace of the outfield can be quite hard to stop like a batsman that's in getting going. So I think you almost have to go to that Yorker plan and try shut off a few options.
.75 for 5 is the score. The scoreboard on the screen just not quite working as it should have been, so we'll get that sorted in a moment. But 76 for 5 now the score. Still 102 required off 9 overs. So do you reckon maybe one more over and then really you've got to start swinging?
I think they probably might even need to go now. I think the run rate's definitely out of control. Not many wickets down. I think they need to roll the dice. Especially with the likes of the bowlers they still have left. Obviously Buster, a great bowler, just finished up playing for Jersey. He was one of our best bowlers in T20 cricket. Very hard to get away. So I think you almost take his over almost out of the equation here. So definitely need to target this over, see if they can hit a few more into the cowsheds.
Again, looking for half, thinking about a second, but probably right not to, just the one. And the scoreboard moves to 77 for 5. Skush Patak continues.
I think these two boys probably take a few risks here. I'd like to see maybe a sweep come out or something, try to put bowl under a little bit more pressure.
Some indecision in the middle.
St Wands will be very happy with these singles, just getting hit down the ground, full length. Harrison will be happy with his bowlers just bowling that length, just targeting middle and leg stump here.
11.5 overs bowled, 100 runs still required, exactly 100. Again, some quick running, but it's only another single. So, as you were saying, Nick, I think they'll be delighted with it, with this over so far.
Yeah, they'll be very happy. Well under the required rate. I think Harrison's managed his bowl as well. He's chopped and changed. Never really allowed them to settle against one specific bowler today.
Not middle, just a couple of bounces to the fielder down in front of our commentary position, Robbie Forrest, who mops that one up and again prevents any kind of boundary or even a 3, or just keeping it to these singles at the moment is superb stuff. 80 for 5 is the score. And again, Forrest is in the action. He returns that one. And that's the end of the 12th over. 81 for 5. Looks like we've got the scoreboard back up on the screen, and perhaps old Victorians won't want to see the scoreboard because it shows at the moment 12.12 is the required run rate, and at the moment going at around half of that. They're going at 6s and need to be going at 12s.
Yep, just the 5 singles off the last over. Again, just really struggling to get any timing. Be interesting to see what they do here against Don Bompey. Turning it away from the bat. I think Dom used the sweeps quite well in his first innings. Obviously a couple of reverses to finish off the innings and hitting behind square. Just really hard to set fields to, really. When you're scoring both sides of the wicket, front and behind. So
yeah, made 60 with the bat and is in the action here and appealing for an LBW. It's more of a half-hearted appeal from the bowler. Someone way out on the boundary somehow felt that it was a leg before. The umpire not agreeing with them, and they get through for 1 there. Galashon on strike, only batsman really that spent a deal of time in the middle, and he's on strike now. Pulls that one into the leg side. But again, it's just a 1, which seems to be the theme of the last couple of overs.
again, it's just those tight lines again into the stumps, not letting them stepping down the wicket and just putting their hands through it. It's been really good bowling.
Just dragged that one down. Meant to be played out into the leg side. Quick 2 taken this time, but need at least 2 a ball is the ask. Need some boundaries here. And that one will run through on the relatively fast outfield, although it's Starting to slow, but it makes it just to the rope, and that's the boundary that was needed. Not the shot necessarily that was needed, but the Victorians need more of that.
Yeah, they definitely need a little bit of luck to go their way now. Nice to see a little bit more intent. I think they need to continue that on for sure. Try to put these bowlers under a little bit more pressure.
Bo Gurner it is on strike. And it's a return catch. Don Blompey into the action and in amongst the wickets. He was in the runs earlier on, and now it really is a battle between him and Harrison for player of the match if he can pick up a couple of wickets too here. But return catch, 89 for 6, and the Victorian struggles continue.
Yep, once again, as soon as the partnership starts to get going, a little bit of run rate starts to build, another wicket. St Juans will be really happy with that. This game pretty much looks finished off for them, so they'll want to wrap it up quickly. Obviously, game this afternoon, and a nice hot day, so they'll definitely want to get in the sheds as quickly as they can here.
One boundary in that Bo Gurner innings, a 16-year-old back in the pavilion. And Galashon has another partner. Scott Simpson out there, I think. Maybe a bit of turn there.
Yeah, it looks like that one gripped in the wicket.
How much of an advantage is it being able to have one, put your feet up and come and have to do this commentary for 10 overs or so, but I guess one, not having to be out there in the sunny conditions for an extra match, and two, being able to sit and watch it and learn stuff from the first game, whether it's seeing that ball turn there or the way the pace bowlers have really tried to pitch it up and done well when they've done that.
Yeah, I think obviously them playing on the wicket, they'll get a good understanding for it themselves, but I think sitting here we can definitely take some lessons. I think in T20 cricket you've got to be straight onto it, so there's no time to kind of, for trial and error, you've got to back your plans from ball one.
But a benefit to be resting up
for sure
in the morning game, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The early cry there is for 2, and they will get back for a second, I think, here. It's still an appeal, but he looked to be home, and the umpire agrees. "91 for 6 then. Galashon still in there on pretty much a runner ball for his 18.
Good attacking, mate. Well done. Well in, Sam Bolt.
One more.
Yeah, very nicely bowled again, just a single down the ground. Great bowling in a T20. Single's almost like a dot ball in this sort of situation, so.
Just taking his guard here, new batsman Scott Simpson. Yeah, he's bowling nicely, is Kush Patak.
Lovely, dude.
93 for 6. That run rate required into the teens now. And Kush Patak going to come over the wicket here, I think, to the left-hander, who Didn't seem to time that, did Galachon?
Yeah, I think
Sort of got a bit bamboozled and maybe just pulled out of it and let it hit his body in the
Yeah,
end.
I think Kush has seen him run down there a little bit early and just tossed it up. It's great bowling.
Yeah, another couple, well fielded in the outfield, restricted to 2, and that's the end of that over. 14 overs down now, and 95 for 6 is the score. And not much sign at the moment of 13 runs and over being likely.
No, it's looking like a tough work out there for them. Obviously Scott Simpson just made his debut for Jersey, probably more as a bowler. Yeah, had a good couple of outings against Denmark and Guernsey and took a few wickets, but yeah, tough task for him down the order for sure.
Is that nice to see some new faces around the Jersey side as well as the new coach?
Yeah, it's definitely been a while since we've had a change. We've been pretty set in our ways for 2 or 3 years. We haven't had much players coming and going, so.
Hoiked away into the leg side and all the way for 6.
Yeah, so it's nice to definitely have people like Simo on board and try and get a few more people involved. We've obviously had, we haven't had many seamers over the years, so definitely it'd be good to have a few more if conditions don't suit our spinners.
So the ball's been found over in the field, over near the nets over there. You mentioned briefly earlier you're doing a bit of coaching here. What sort of groups are you working with?
I've had a range of kids, down from about 10 years old through to some of the boys in the under 19s. It's been great to see. I've coached a few of them before from the 19s, and I think it's good to see how keen people are to learn cricket. And I think everyone I've coached has just been, really taking it in and enjoyed themselves, which has made it really easy for me. So.
Again, not able to time that at all. Do get through for 1 though.
I think Simo's going to try to tee up leg side again here.
Yeah, we saw the big hit earlier in the over, backing away, but ends up pushing it down the ground. That's 6 bringing up the 100, we should say, for the Rathbones Old Victorians.
Come on, Dom, finish well now.
Yeah, good running from Galachon there. He's well into the 20s now. And 106 for 6. With 1 ball to go in this 15th over. That's a nice looking shot. And 4 runs is the signal from the umpire. Just 1 bounce and into the advertising boards away to our right as we look on from this commentary position. Nick, thank you very much for joining us. I think Lee's going to hop in and replace you for the closing of this game. Get yourself ready for the final. Looks like we know who you're playing, unless something miraculous happens in the next few overs.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick Greenwood, joining us live on the live stream. Jersey international player. Spent a lot of his career, as we were hearing, down in New Zealand. Back over here doing some coaching and playing for Farmers this afternoon in the final of this T20 finals day. And looks very much, Lee Malloy, that it's going to be someone Springfield that they take on.
Yeah, I think the safe bet now is SOS. It's been a good innings from their point of view. They've never looked like they're out of control. Every time OVs have got away a little bit, they've dragged it back with a couple of wickets, and taking wickets is really difficult to keep that momentum for OVs.
Have you been you've been surprised by how dominant spin and the slow left armers have been?
Yeah, I think it's a case of just being able to continually, as we see there, another wicket fall,
another wicket to a
continually
spinner,
be able to bowl at the stumps. I think batters have missed a few straight balls, which they would like to have back. But I think it's about execution and skill, and the St Juan spinners have tied them down, which has created pressures, which has created false shots from the OV's batters. So, yeah, an all-round good bowling and fielding performance to defend 170, which we mentioned in the first innings might be quite difficult to defend here, but if you bowl and you execute well and you bowl to your fields, it can make it very difficult for the batting team.
110 for 7 then. Fourth wicket that was for Harrison Carlyon, the captain, following his 49 earlier, so very much in contention for player of the match. Dom Blompe with his 60, I suppose, and I think Dom's got 1 wicket as well. But a captain's performance here from Harrison to seemingly guide his team into this afternoon's final.
Yeah, absolutely. I chatted to him at the start of the day, had a good chat before the game. He mentioned, they've got a young side, a young batting lineup. But as I spoke to him at the start, we mentioned about the main players and the senior players holding their hands up and putting in performances to win games of cricket for them. And as the skipper, there's nothing nicer than being able to do that yourself when you're under a bit of pressure.
Here he comes again. Rob Duckett now out in the middle. There's yet another partner for Luke Galashon.
Rob's no mug with the bat. He played a lot of junior cricket for Jersey and was a top order batter back then. Plays a lovely cover drive, so he's got options, and he'll want to get going a bit quicker than he probably has done here to chase this total down. But yeah, it's a sign of things that have come before him that he's been put in this position.
Required run rate now at 15. Nice looking shot down the ground. It'll just be 1. I guess SOS will just be keen to get this wrapped up now and have a slightly longer break between matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got 3 o'clock start in the final this afternoon, so still over an hour and a half away.
Yeah, I think that'll be the idea, to bowl as much spin as they can in these last few overs to try and get around quicker and get their legs up and rest well for the final, where they've. It's always an interesting one with finals day because history would suggest that getting through to the final is a big advantage with fresh legs, but a lot of cricket's about understanding the wicket and having a bit of experience coming into the final, having played this morning with batters getting their eye in and things like that. There's an argument to say that playing could also be a bit of an advantage. So yeah, it's going to be certainly an interesting matchup.
Yeah, no run there. That completes the over. Just looking at the bowling figures then.
Really tidy spell there from Harrison. 4 wickets in a T20 you don't see very often, and to have gone at 5s as well is an absolute dream. And the wickets he's taken, not just the 4 of them, but the batters that he's got for the side, has really killed this chase for OVs.
Yeah, and Elliot Miles there at 5.5 economy rate. No wickets, but that really stemmed any early momentum as well.
Yeah, power play overs are huge, and Buster's had many years of experience at, especially in international cricket. He was last couple of years ago at Challenge League B in Jersey for the 50 overs Jersey side. He was bowling death overs as a left arm spinner, so from his angle this is nothing new. He loves the occasion. Those who tuned into the Italy game will remember some fantastic celebrations at a great day at Farmers, so yeah, he's not shy of the occasion.
Edged away, some work for the fielders to do here to chase this one down. They've done well. Barney Aston it is who's back on for a spell. Into his last over actually, 1 for 25.
Fantastic spell from Barney. He's been the leader of their attack with the seam as a seam bowler this year. I know a couple of weeks ago up here he got Nick Greenwood out first ball, 1 nip back between bat and pad. So
Nick didn't mention that in the strange that.
Funny enough he didn't mention that, no, but certainly going into this final, if as we think SOS are going to get there, that might be one to watch with a bit of nerves from Greenie and a confident young 16-year-old running in from the bottom end, so that'll be one to watch.
4 from the over so far from the first couple of balls of it.
Pretty pretty stationary stuff as you'd expect at this stage. Galley's going to keep battling like he does. Looking to fight till the end, take it to the last over, and then, well, you never know what happens, but mathematically it's starting to get a little bit difficult for them. I'm not the best, but
it's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot required. So we've had one piece of GCSE maths on the coverage today. That's enough for the day. What have we got? 16.64 required run rate at the moment. Well, that's high. Is it going to carry? It carries straight to the fielder's hands. It's a good catch because he had time to think about it there on the boundary. It's one you'd expect him to take, but had a bit of time to watch it into his hands. And a 7th wicket falls.
Yeah, the Guernsey skipper there making up for the drop catch earlier on in the innings, which at that time might have cost them dearly, but good bowling and good fight back in the field and good composure under pressure there to take a catch. That's why you can see the teammates getting around him a little bit there. That'll pick his confidence up nicely before the final, so yeah, a good catch under pressure.
Yeah, I think I said 7th wicket to fall. It's actually the 8th wicket to fall, and so running out of batsmen, running out of time. And St One Springfield look to be on their way to this afternoon's final, which will be covered on the live stream. If you check out the social media feeds of Jersey Cricket and hopefully the clubs as well, you'll be able to find the link to that later this afternoon. And it looks to be Farmers against SOS, which is first against third from the league phase.
Yeah, as I say, SOS have had a bit of an up and down league campaign. They've, as I think I said earlier, when they've been good, they've been really good, like we're seeing today. And when they've not been so good, it's not gone their way. So yeah, they'll hope that they can repeat this performance come the final. Farmers with fresh legs, certainly finishing first, will go off as favourites. Bit of early team news for you. It doesn't look like national captain Chuggy Pershard's going to play today, which is obviously a big boost for the opposition given his experience and his quality that he brings.
That one a little wayward, so we'll have to go back and go again as the barbecue starts up to our right.
Big crowd coming in now. I think on a Saturday people come the afternoon will start to make their way up here. Obviously we're at Farmers Field for anybody watching if they want to get up here. If you don't know about it already, Jimmy likes to tell everyone how the bar is open often.
Flat batted away, smashed away. It's going to go for 4. And just a bit of resilience perhaps at the end being shown as that one's smashed away. It's tough when you know the result is almost certainly out of reach. I mean, it's not certain, but almost.
Yeah.
And so you just want to go in and finish strong, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that you've not got a choice, so it's quite nice as a batter to walk to the crease and not have to think more than once. So I think Theo, a young, dangerous hitter, is just going to come in and play one way here.
It's really clean hitting, that.
Yeah, he only knows to play one way really, so he's got an option to do it.
Again, finds the middle of the bat and picks up a single this time. And that brings the 17th over to a close. 123 for 8. In fact, 1 ball to go, is there?
Looks like it, yeah.
Maybe 1 ball still to go in.
There
was a few wides in there, yeah, so a couple.
Barney's gone to his skills a bit here, trying to bowl some slower balls into the wicket and a bouncer, which you don't hate to see. He's certainly a sign of confidence.
And beats the shot there, and it's a 3rd wicket for Barney Aston. So some excellent performances out there. Harrison Carlyon with the ball and the bat, Don Blompe with the bat and his 60 earlier on. And yeah, Barney Aston in the action with figures of 3 for 33. That was his last ball of his 4 over spell, and he'll be chuffed with that.
Yeah, so he should be. Inexperienced, he'd never played on this occasion before. For a number of years, SOS have relied heavily on Anthony Kay's seam bowling, and he's taken a step back from cricket now after a very good international career. So that brings an opportunity for a young player to step up, and certainly throughout the season, not just today, Barney's been doing that. The chap with the guys that I know from SOS has just been nothing but positive about him, and he's part of our junior setup within the boys and men's side of things. So
feels like there's a real good batch coming through in that age group, that teenage age group, 16, 17, 18 coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, you know, they're part of a product of this junior club system that we have now, where they've played a lot of cricket for their club, and they get exposed to senior cricket from an early age. And Barney will have played a fair few games for SOS 3s and 2s. So naturally, with success and with talent, that tends to reach towards the top. So for him, this is all just a great learning experience, and if he performs along the way, fantastic. So it's brilliant to see our youngsters, which we do well in Jersey, promote youth, come to the fore.
Miles is on, looking for his first wicket perhaps here, but there's been a couple of runs to the total first up.
Yeah, that one getting through. Harrison Carline at backward point. Maybe after his performance so far, the legs are getting a little bit tired. He needs that rest, but we'll see come the final. Just on that note, he gets the nickname Chips for a reason. I'll let you read into that as you will.
Yep. Well, barbecue smoke is up now. I think the first burgers are going on over there, and it's not long until this one's going to be done and dusted. 126 for 9. We'll bring you some quick reaction at the close of the innings as well, and look further ahead to the final, where St One Springfield are going to be taking on Farmers at 3 to decide who are crowned the T20 champs.
I hope we're in for a really good game this afternoon. There's a good crowd coming in. The pitch looks fantastic, and
well, we've got sort of we've got an idea now of what par might be as well, to look at in that second game.
Yeah, I think as we spoke about before, playing on the wicket tends to give you a bit of an advantage, but with the Farmers boys up here early and it being Jimmy's back garden, they've got a good idea of what to expect. Nothing will surprise them, I'd imagine. They've got a good side, they've got a long batting lineup, and they've got an experienced skill set of bowlers. So they're definitely a strong outfit, and they'll be looked to be favourites. And but you never know in T20 cricket. That's the beauty of it.
And there we are, into the final go St One Springfield, and in the end it was a really dominant bowling display. Miles does get his wicket, and Old Victorians all out for 128, and it's St One Springfield who march on to take on the Farmers this afternoon. We thought when we saw the score posted of 177 that actually we might get a really close competitive game, but it didn't turn out to be that way in the end.
No, as I said, the power play is so important in all of these games, especially when chasing a total 150 plus. If you can be chasing, you know, anything around 100 outside the power play with 14 overs left, you're right in the game. And I think the way that the wickets fell in the power play for OVs and the runs weren't flying up the board, I think they put themselves in a really difficult position. And with the attack that SOS have got, where they're going to bowl tightly in those middle overs with 5 fielders out, a young team who are fit and flying around the field, it was always going to be a tough ask once 170 was on the board. But yeah, unfortunately Charlie Brennan and the top order didn't get going for OVs. They'll be gutted because they were there last year, so they've experienced the ECL and know what to expect. But yeah, they'll have their heads held high after a strong campaign, but it's not to be for them today.
Some dominant performances we're seeing on the screen there. Dom Lompy with his 60 from 48 balls. Harrison Carline falling just short of his half century. And then actually the batting from Robbie Forrest there at the end was 31 from 12, really propelled them on and maybe gave them that momentum going into this second innings.
Yeah, absolutely. It's T20 cricket's about being positive the whole time, whether that's with the ball or with the batter in the field. So I think SOS showed that a bit more today. They came out with the intent that they needed. The main players stepped up and performed, and that's what's got them to the final. So they'll be right up for it. And as you can see, smiles on their faces coming off. It's now about recovering, preparing well, staying away from the barbecue and the bar, and giving themselves the best chance to perform in just over an hour's time.
Yeah, so 3 o'clock for the final. 128 was the all-out score there in 17.5 overs, just to complete the formality. So the win by 49 runs, and that's a healthy margin of victory in this form of the game. So Farmers will know they're in for a tough battle this afternoon, I think. I would suspect, being at home, having topped the league, Farmers will be the favourites, and most people would expect to be the favourites, but SOS have shown what they're made of there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. Really excited, and if you're at a loose end and if you're able to find your way up to Farmers Field this afternoon, no doubt you're going to enjoy yourself watching some fantastic T20 cricket.
I just had a tweet in from the Assistant Minister for Sport actually saying he's hoping to get up this afternoon and has been enjoying the coverage.
He'd be more than welcome.
So yeah, I think there should be a good crowd in here to watch, and fingers crossed for a good final as well. As I say, the live links will be out on social media on Jersey Cricket this afternoon, or very shortly. So take a look out for those and make sure you're with us for that final between Farmers and SOS at 3 o'clock. But for now, from this semi-final game, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll hopefully catch you for the second game this afternoon to see who are crowned the champions.